Well, Cole, this time tomorrow, we'll get to say that we have football on today. How about that? 24 hours from right now, you and I will get to say, hey, coming at 5:30 today, which is actually tomorrow, Furman football taking on Anderson right here on the Fan Upstate. What a beautiful day it's going to be to have college football back in earnest, for real. All of the storylines, all of the weirdness, the negativity, the infighting, the injunctions will all wash away and football will be back.
I'm ready. I tell you, there's no one more ready to stop talking about the storylines and start talking about football than me. I can promise you that.
I can promise you that the storylines are not going to stop.
No, but we'll have football
change.
to talk about.
Yeah, you'll just talk about football instead.
We have football, X's and O's, what happened, why this team lost, why that team won. I'm pumped up.
Well,
Furman, baby.
It's going to be a great day. Furman taking on the Anderson Trojans.
Getting that 1-0 start.
Yeah.
1-0 start for Furman tomorrow night.
So that means our Tolos who listen down on 101.5 in Anderson will be listening to Furman football right here on the Fan Upstate. How about that?
Yeah, it's not going to be good if they're an Anderson fan. I can go ahead and tell you that.
You don't think so?
Oh, no. I think Furman blows them out tomorrow.
I really hope so. I really hope so.
There's not a traditional point spread posted for that game, but yeah. I don't think this game is. And no offense, I love Bobby Lamb. Bobby Lamb is one of the best. Yep. And that program, new program, they've got pretty cool facilities down there in Anderson. Mm-hmm. They're going to be fine. But no, Furman tomorrow is going to win by a lot of points, I think.
Speaking of point spreads, and thank you, Joe. We got the echo on the stream fixed there. Speaking of point spreads, Tolos, you need to start opening up the ESPN app or go to ESPN.com. Check out the spreads for the games that are going to be played this weekend because the Upset Picks Challenge opens at 4 o'clock.
You got to be kidding me.
Is
it already?
It's happening today.
It's back, baby. I'm going to get shirtless and start waving it like the sandstorm and, just partying. Yeah, that's what I'll do at 4 o'clock. I can't wait. I can't wait. And I have no idea who my upset pick is. There's not a lot of options, right?
You only have like 7 or 8 games to choose from.
I was going to say,
and are you going to be one of the ones, Cole, that goes bold and goes for the 30-point spread?
I already know what you were going to say when you asked. No.
I mean, how bad could it be for Mike Norvell in Tallahassee this year?
No, I can't wait, man. I am pumped. I'm fired up. I'm looking at the scores right now, matter of fact, on ESPN.com, and they're locked in 1 hour, right?
Correct.
1 hour from now. And this is week 1.
Week 1A.
1A. Important, Tolos, when you go to ESPN and go to scores, make sure you click off of top 25 and click FBS.
Yes.
That's where they are. Oh, my God. Look at the games. They're there.
Another great way to look at it, Cole, is if you go to this works especially if you're on a web browser. You go to the NCAA football tab and you click on schedule. Schedule gives you every game that is scheduled. Whereas if you go to scores, a lot of times it defaults to top 25.
Schedule's too confusing for me.
It's a list.
I'm too.
Schedule is a list.
I don't like it. I like my scores. I like my scores at 12 o'clock. North Carolina, TCU. That's the game I'm looking at. I'm looking at it.
8 games, by the way. 8 games to choose from on Saturday starting at noon with North Carolina, TCU. That one is an 8.5-point spread right now. San Jose State, USC, that's one of the biggies. That's a 39.5-point spread. You got an ACC conference matchup between NC State and Virginia. North Dakota State makes their debut as an FBS school.
How about that? That's a big
going
story.
To be wild,
Who do they play?
They play Jacksonville State, a team that just moved up a couple of years ago that was pretty good.
And North Dakota State's favored, by the way.
Oh, gosh.
that might be a game to look at.
As we've talked ad nauseum about class action lawsuits and injunctions, I'm shocked, Cole, that the other handful of schools that have made the jump up to FBS in the last 15 years or so, they haven't all gotten together and done a class action lawsuit because they all had to do a 2-year transition period, right? Yeah. It was 2 years. First year, you played an FCS schedule without being able to go to the FCS playoffs. Second year, you played an FBS schedule without being eligible for the FBS postseason or a bowl game of any kind. But then, Liberty comes in, they change the rules. They get the ruling that they can just jump right in. North Dakota State takes advantage of that. James Madison took advantage of that as well a couple of years ago. So I think all the schools that had to wait 2 years should sue. Everybody's suing everybody.
And by the way, I've decided as of today, I'm filing a class action lawsuit as well.
Good.
I am.
Good.
For negligence and all kind of stuff as to why they didn't allow me to become a better high school athlete, which would have produced a better college athlete.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sue it. I'm
sue
mad
the coaches.
I was too short, too white, and too slow.
You could have been a hell of a bowler, though.
I hate bowling.
But there's money to be made. You can be a short golfer. Rory's a little guy.
He is.
He's just wiry, you know. He's got all that kinetic energy.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be a big guy to be a great golfer. But hey, Tolo's coming up here in 55 minutes. You'll be able to start getting your picks in again. You got the 8 games to choose from this weekend. And then next week's upset picks will be the game starting Thursday, September 3rd, going all the way through Monday, I believe it's the 7th. There you go. Monday the 7th. Only one game on for Monday the 7th.
So we don't have a long wait from Sunday to Thursday. That's good. That's week 1B is when Thursday starts,
correct.
Right?
That is correct. And
so
we'll get those picks in next week.
I was going to say next week's upset picks challenge is going to be wild because you're going to only really, if you're going to choose like Thursday or Friday games, you're going to have to get those suckers in quick.
That's true.
Quick.
That's true. You can get your picks in on the day of, so long as, and I don't think it really will affect any of these games, so long as these games are not really early games. The Thursday matchups don't start until 6 o'clock. So, for example, if you wanted to pick UMass at Rutgers, which you probably won't, but if you wanted to, you'd have to get that in before 6 o'clock on Thursday because 6 o'clock first kick on Thursday.
What I'm going to do is next week, I'm going to wait till Friday, and then I'm going to submit a Thursday game and see if you catch it, you and Dan.
You're going to back to future this thing.
Yeah, the game that's already been played.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can sneak it in there on the spreadsheet, right?
Don't give the Tolos any ideas.
I'm just saying.
Don't give them any ideas. Now they'll want to do it.
It's a lock.
You know what? Instantaneous -1 for you. -1 for knowing the rules and breaking the rules.
Yeah.
But hey, man, opening games are coming your way to a lot of Tolos. Some of you got to wait another week. Some of you who are fans of these teams that are starting tomorrow, this weekend, you will get your opening games early. But what are your all-time favorite opening game of the season memories, Cole? You are a Clemson fan, grew up a Clemson fan, as did I. Went to App State, I did. You went to North Greenville. Like, are there memories from opening games of the season that strike you and you remember as a big deal?
Yeah, I remember a few years ago. It's not a few anymore. It's been several years. I remember the Clemson-Georgia opening week game at Clemson, and I'll get the official date of when it was in a few minutes, but it was a track meet. It was a track meet of a game, and that was when Clemson was entering their climax, and Georgia was a power, and it was at Death Valley. It was a night game. I remember that one was just back and forth. One of the best college football games in an opening weekend I can imagine. Of course, there's a million good ones out there to choose from, but that Clemson-Georgia game, man, I'll get the year in a second. That was electric of a game. I mean, like, as loud as I can remember Death Valley being in a long, long time. For an opener, you can't beat Clemson, Georgia.
Would this have been in the 90s?
No. This was like 10 years ago. 10 years ago or so.
I'll find it on Winsipedia.
Oh, I like that.
Great website. Winsipedia.
I like that. Winsipedia?
Winsipedia. You can compare.
How have I never heard of Winsipedia?
Oh, it's great. Let's see. 2003, Clemson beat Georgia 30. Georgia beat Clemson 30-0.
Ooh, no, won that one.
Clemson won this game though, right? Would have been 2013, a 38-35.
Yeah.
Georgia, a 38-35 Clemson win.
That was it.
Go.
They went 11-2 that year. They won 38-35, high score, and just it was a night game, I'm pretty sure, late August. I think that was the best opener I've been to, man. You talk about think about that. Clemson and Georgia scoring almost 80 points. I mean, that's insane. That was an electric night. That was an electric game. One of the best college football games I've ever seen. What year did you say that was?
That was 2013.
You got to think of who they had on that roster then. I mean, some dudes, right? Taj Boyd, Sammy Watkins, Martavis. You had Vic Beasley.
Whoa.
I mean, they were loaded. And that 2013 Georgia team was good as well. And that was, man, I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of good games, but not even just openers. That one right there was fantastic. They were Aaron Murray.
That'd have been Mark Richt, right?
Yeah,
Mark
and
Richt
Aaron Murray was at quarterback. You ever heard of Todd Gurley? running back. They had him. They had Chris Conley. They had Michael Bennett. They had Arthur Lynch. I mean, that was such a good game in 20. I can't believe that's been 13 years ago.
Yeah. It feels like it was just yesterday, the memories, the sounds that, they're calling it now a pop. Whenever somebody does something big in a football game and a huge cheer, that's a pop.
Crowd pop. Yeah.
Crowd pop. So
I think that's, and if any Tolos out there were at that game, that 2013 Clemson Georgia game, you can't beat that one.
Tolos, what do you say? What was the biggest, most memorable opening game of the season? Your best week 1 memories here on the Fan Upstate, 844-326-3663. You know what mine is going to be, right?
Oh, of course.
You know what mine is.
Yeah,
it was App State on the road in front of 109,000 people beating Michigan.
Yeah.
And, I had a great time at the tailgate. Don't remember a lot of the first quarter. Started to sort of realize what was going on in the second quarter. I do remember chatting with some Canadians who were Michigan fans who had come across the border to go to the game.
Yeah.
And at halftime, one of them tapped me on the shoulder and said, "You guys are going to win your national championship this year." Like, he could see, like, that's a really good football team we're playing, and that team is going to win the FCS national championship, which we did. But then I had a girl stop me outside of the stadium and say that I ruined her senior year of college. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But hey, it was a great time. Ann Arbor was a lot of fun. And that tailgating scene is unmatched. That was 2007.
God, you're old.
Tailgating,
you're old.
Yeah. What were you, like 4 or 5 at the time?
11. 11 years old.
11
in 2007. Yeah.
Wow.
That was Armani Edwards, right?
It was Armani Edwards, Greenwood's finest. How about that?
He was good. He ran for a lot that game. Was he a freshman?
Yes.
I mean, he was young.
I believe so.
He was young, I think, when he beat Michigan. Freshman. I mean, he was a young puppet. That's awesome. That's you know what? That's a hard one to beat opening weekend. I forgot that was opening weekend, by the way. That was the opening weekend game. App State, Michigan. How about that? Yeah. I don't know if any of them. Let's see on the Joy Law Firm text line. Texter says, and one of those 2 losses was to South Carolina that year. Got him. Talking about the 2013 Clemson schedule, I guess, when they went 11-2, had to be. Mitchell says, I was at that game, Cole, talking about the Georgia-Clemson game 2013 at Death Valley. You're going to have to dig into this website, man. This head-to-head results, Winsipedia. Winsipedia, WINSI-pedia. You can put any 2 teams. You select any 2 teams, and you can see their head-to-head matchups. You can see, the streaks that each team went on. That's wild to think. Clemson went on a 7-game win streak from 1900 to 1906. Georgia went on a 10-game win streak from 1920 to 1954, which, it stinks that these 2 teams, as close as they are. Yeah. I mean, what are they distance from campus? Like maybe an hour and a half? They ought to be playing each other far more often. So let me tell you, let's keep it on that 2013 Clemson season for a second. I gave you the answer you asked for, best all-time opener memory. Mm-hmm. I also can remember the worst loss the same year. The same year, fast forward to October 19th, college game day, 2013 on a fall crisp morning. Me and a buddy were at Clemson at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Did you drive down, or were you still there from the night before? I can't remember, to be honest with you. I can't remember if we drove down. I don't remember. Anyways, they had not lost to that point. They beat Georgia to open the season. And who rolls into town on October 19th? A guy by the name of Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, who threw for 4,000 yards that year, by the way. Diesel, to give you the opposite answer, that was the worst I can remember. It was a night game, college game day. We were there all day, literally, and Clemson lost 51-14. 51. Gosh. Jameis Winston went TF off that night against Clemson. I mean, you had Clemson fans at halftime turning their shirts inside out doing the tomahawk. That's how bad it was. I mean, it was we were gone. We were out of there. I'm telling you, we beat the traffic. It was a beat down by Jameis Winston. What's worse? If you feel good about your chances, what's worse, getting blown out
or coming really, really close and losing right at the end?
I've asked that question
That's
a
a
lot.
hard question to answer.
I've talked
What's more
about that a lot.
heartbreaking? I think the close losses are more heartbreaking.
The close loss is more heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because you were right there. You tasted the chance, right? No, the blowouts, they still hurt, but no, the close losses, that's a kick to the nads. I mean, it just sucks. Listen to this. Jameis Winston that night was 22 of 34 for 444 yards.
Did Clemson not play a secondary in that game?
444 yards that night. Jameis Winston had.
I bet he ran for a bunch too.
He ran for 1 touchdown.
Jeez.
So he had 4 touchdowns on the night. He was a monster. And I mean monster that night, which was weird because that season for Clemson with Taj Boyd was right before they kind of arrived on the scene. But think about it. They went 11-2. As good as they were, they beat Georgia. They scored 38 on Georgia. Got boat raced by Florida State. Lost to South Carolina. It wasn't close. That was 31-17. And then they turn around in the Orange Bowl and beat Ohio State. Score 40 on Ohio State. So it was a weird season. They had a good team. The defense wasn't great.
There you go.
Wasn't great.
Tolo's 844-326-3663. JB, the OG Tolo, says getting blown out is definitely worse. See, I disagree, JB. I can put the blowouts out of my mind.
It sucks. You just move on.
There are games where fans will pretend like the game never actually happened. You got beat so bad. But the close ones are the ones that hurt the most to me.
They do. It's not even a question. They for sure do. I mean, it's just
See, JB's into moral victories. He says in a close loss, you went toe to toe with him. You lose by 40, and you're nowhere close to him. You see, I don't agree with that at all, JB. I don't agree in moral victories.
No, I'd rather get blown out.
Because then you can just chalk it up to like, hey, things were weird. Obviously, look at the other games. We had a pretty good team that year. They were just off. They were really bad.
Bad night. Nah, I'm with you.
Cole, I don't know if this concerns you or not, but I saw this yesterday as we were closing out the show. Sports Talk Media Network, Smitty's organization, posted yesterday that per Larry Williams at Tiger Illustrated, sources had told him that last week was not a great one for Christopher Vezina, and the competition with Tate Reynolds for the starting job at LSU remains real, and called it a close one. So this idea that Christopher Vezina has been pulling away from Tate Reynolds the last couple of weeks seems to be challenged a little bit by those who are in the know and those sources who are at practices.
And then this morning, so was that a Larry Williams tweet you said?
Sports Talk Media Network retweeted it, but it was a Larry Williams post from Tiger Illustrated.
So this morning, Pete Nakos did tweet. He did tweet tweeted the article and said Christopher Vezina entered fall camp as QB1 for Clemson, but Tate Reynolds has made it interesting, a must read. So the article, it was tweeted out by Paul Strelo of Tiger Illustrated. And look, I think the article, without going into the entirety of it, is just basically Diesel explaining and showing that, and maybe trying to keep Clemson fans interested in the fact that this battle's still ongoing. There's still a position to be won. Whether that's true, whether that really turns into anything with Tate beating Christopher Vezina out, who knows?
Yeah,
we've got a week and 2 days
to figure it out.
And I told you a couple weeks ago, the 2 weeks leading up to the LSU game, those are the most important 2 weeks of the whole season in my mind for Clemson. The preparation, what happens. I just think right now is the most important time for Clemson.
And how about this? Tate Reynolds was added to the Sean Alexander Freshman of the Year watch list.
Wow.
So there is some expectation from Sean Alexander, which I've never heard of this award before, that Tate Reynolds will get some significant playing time this year. You don't put him on a Freshman of the Year watch list if you don't expect him to be out there playing. So that is a fascinating one there.
It is, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Part of me tells me that Dabo's loyalty is going to give Christopher Vezina the nod regardless, but part of me also thinks, man, maybe Tate Reynolds is just so much, maybe his ceiling's so much higher that you feel like you have to go with Tate. And I don't know which one happens. I'm not going to predict. I think if I if you put a gun to my head, I would still say, as of today, I still think Vizina will get to start against LSU. How long will that leash be? I'm telling you, man, I know you and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I'm still under the impression that you could see both against LSU. I think if Clemson, I said it a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I think if Clemson comes out there and they're holding their weight defensively, and we see real quickly that Vizina's not it, I just think you could see Vizina or Tate Reynolds come in. I think you could see a mid-game replacement if Clemson feels like they're within striking distance and just goes to the hot hand. If that's the case, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Help me out here, Cole, and I apologize. Ramon Robinson. I was having a hard time pulling Ramon Robinson's name out of the ether. Quarterback guru. He comes on the show fairly regularly. I'm no Ramon Robinson, but when I was watching, Clemson actually tweeted this video out of a side-by-side shot of both Christopher Vizina and Tate Reynolds throwing the football. I mean, I think Christopher Vizina is going to have a hard time throwing the ball over tall offensive lines and defensive lines when they get their hands up, because Christopher Vizina throws a lot more of a three-quarter arm motion, whereas Tate Reynolds comes straight out over the top. And
what's your name?
One, the ball gets up high and stays up above linemen with their hands up in the air. The other one, I think is a recipe for getting batted down. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Sorry, Jimmy just called in and asked if we called him. Old man, no, we didn't call you, Jimmy. Sorry about that. I thought it was a caller wanting to get on the show and talk about the quarterback battle at Clemson.
We called him an old man?
No, did you call me? No, we didn't call you, Jimmy. We didn't call you. Not at least Diesel and I did.
We should have asked him who's he pulling for between Clemson and LSU.
We're not who. I think that's probably the reaction I would have got there. I'm not sure. It's going to be really interesting. I think that game has so many intriguing factors, but I'm telling you, man, I'm just not ruling out seeing a quarterback change during the game itself.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun. Diesel, we have to get to, in the very next segment, the top 100 before the college football season starts tomorrow. The top 100 is out. We'll get to it. That list next.
on the Fan Upstate.
Well, every year before the season starts, the college football season, ESPN puts together its annual preseason ranking of the top 100 players in college football, which is a tricky task, to say the least, Diesel. However, I want to go through this list, you, I, and the Tolos, and see who we recognize. Of course, we'll recognize the top players in college football, but if I just asked you off the cuff, the 100th best player in college football, linebacker of New Mexico, Jackson Eck. You know Jackson, right?
Oh, totally.
You're New Mexico. You're studied up on them?
I'm friends with his brother, Paxton.
Yep. Jackson Eck. Of course, we're not going to go through this entire list, but here's where I do want to start. Ryan Williams at Alabama, his freshman season, had an unbelievable campaign. We were talking about him and Jeremiah Smith. It's like, okay, these are the best two players in college football, right? Last year, wasn't as great, 689 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. There was a big sophomore slump for Ryan Williams, who's now changed his name kind of to Ryan Coleman Williams. So you have to put the Coleman in there. Here's my question. And we all know, if you're a college football junkie, we all know what kind of special talent he is. We remember that play against Georgia in the championship game where he caught the ball, the heave to Ryan Williams. He spins out of traffic and takes it to the house, right? That was his freshman year. He was phenomenal. But ESPN ranks Ryan Williams as the 99th best player in college football. You're telling me that there are 98 better players in college football than Ryan Williams at Alabama? And I'm no Alabama fan, but there's just no way you can convince me. And I know he had a down year, sophomore slump.
Shane Barrett says he had the dropsies.
He did. Shane, he wasn't great. You're right. But you, and Shane, you're an Auburn fan. You tell me, are you telling me there are 98 players in the great United States of America that are better than Ryan Williams? There's no shot. This list is already trash.
Statistically, it makes sense. You got, what you got? 72 guys on every roster times 136. It makes sense.
If you're only going off of stats from last year, sure. But come on. What are we doing here? Shane on YouTube says, that's a bit disrespectful to Ryan Williams, and you know who I root for, Auburn fan.
How big was his freshman year? You said his sophomore year was down, 4 touchdowns, 600 plus yards. What was his freshman year like?
He went off.
Was he a monster?
He went off. 48 receptions as a freshman, 865 yards, 18 receptions, 18 yards per reception. He came on late, especially in that 75-yard touchdown pass that he had against Georgia in the game winner, where he caught the ball 9 times for 177 yards. Whew. He was freshman All-American, first team All-SEC. So for a freshman with 8 touchdowns, coming out of the gate strong, almost 1,000 yards, you thought, okay, this guy's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver as a sophomore. He was almost there as a freshman. He wasn't anywhere close to it, averaging 18 yards per reception as a 17-year-old. He reclassed, by the way, from the 2025 class, so he was supposed to be a senior in high school. He had a great freshman year, 177 yards against Georgia in that game. And I just cannot, JB on YouTube says Williams should be no lower than top 30. The eye test just tells you enough about this guy. And I don't know who put this list together, but there's just no way you can tell me that there's 98 better players. It's a travesty. What does Dewey say? It's a travesty.
Should be fired.
Yes. So
centers are important. Right tackles are important. Yeah, left tackle is real important. You got to keep your quarterback upright.
Yeah.
You know, those are important players too. You know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of nothing but pass catchers and ball throwers getting all the love. Put him down there at the bottom of the list where he belongs.
Well, Adam Trick of Texas Tech, he's a better player. He's a outside linebacker. Kamari Copeland of Virginia Tech's better than Ryan Williams. Caleb Hawkins of Oklahoma State, the running back's a better player than Ryan Williams. I just can't believe it. What about this one? Justice Haynes, running back, Georgia Tech. You remember last year, pretty good season for Justice Haynes. He comes in at 92, 121 carries, 10 touchdowns. Not a bad season for Justice Haynes. Let me ask you this before I tell you the answer. if I told you that John Mateer was on this list, without looking, where would you guess top 100 that John Mateer is on this list?
I guess John Mateer's probably somewhere around 27, 28.
Try 89.
What?
89. That's what I'm telling you. What are we using to? I know his interception numbers were high, but what are we using?
So you're guilty here, Cole, of only focusing on the positive attributes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the touchdown receptions, number of yards thrown. The negatives matter too. You know, ability to escape the pocket, ability to shake off pass rush, throwing interceptions, fumbles. All of that stuff matters too.
It does. Put him at 50. Put him at 50. But put him at this. I mean,
80
what
something
are we
you said?
doing? Yeah, he is. Let me find it again. I don't know why I scrolled down. John Mateer's 89. 89 for John Mateer. I just can't. I can't believe it. Shane Barrett in all caps on the stream says, what? JB says he should at least be top 40. You would think. And again, I don't know.
It sounds like they're saying John Mateer not all that important to Oklahoma's success. It's the team around him that makes him better.
Man, oh man, oh man. Oh man. Byram Brown. Hey, what about this? Will Helt, Clemson defensive end, made the top 100. Diesel. Will Helt came in at 87. Do you have any issue with Will Helt being on that list?
No, 87. That's, being a defensive edge and a rusher, pass rusher is an important job. He's also from the roundabout capital of the United States. That's one of those things that I don't know why, Cole, when I'm 60, I'll remember that stat, which is not that far away.
And I'm glad you remember that because I will not. I will not remember that one at all.
We knew we were going to sit down with him at ACC kickoff. And so I was doing a little research on him, found out his hometown, found out something about his hometown. I don't remember the name of the town, but it's in Indiana. And it's the roundabout capital of the United States. And he hates stoplights. Hates them.
I do remember that. It was Indiana, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. By the way, he had 20 solo tackles, 15 and a half tackles for loss, with 7.5 sacks. Pretty good. Who
is the highest rated defensive player on this list?
I'll have to scroll down.
And I'm curious what our Tolos think. What position and what player is the highest rated defensive player?
I'm scrolling down through the list quickly. I just find some names that are fascinating. If I asked you where Kevin Jennings was, where would you say Kevin Jennings was? Top 100?
30?
73.
Good Lord.
73. I thought Kevin Jennings is a pretty good player.
Do they just throw these names in a blender and hope?
They have C.J. Bailey higher than Kevin Jennings.
Oh, good God.
I mean, what are we doing here?
Good God.
I mean, come on. Demon Williams of Washington, who we think is going to have a pretty good junior season. He's 64. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but having Bailey ahead of, come on, what are we doing? Deuce Robinson, Florida State, 59, right? Best player. Let's see who else. Drew Bobo of Georgia, Mike Bobo's son, offensive lineman. He's 56, I guess, because of his last name. Josh Hoover. Here we go. Kurt Cignetti's next guy.
Yeah.
Coming in at 55. He had a pretty good year last year with, was it
TCU. He had a monster. Right. He was, if I recall correctly, he was somewhere in like the 3,600 yard range.
29 touchdowns.
Interceptions a little high. I mean, if he could have got his interceptions down last year at TCU, how many more yards would he have thrown? I mean, he is a monster.
No, he
can protect the ball.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Cignetti does with Hoover. I'm scrolling through the list to see other notable names. Whit Weeks, 41, linebacker of LSU. That's like Lane Kiffin's daughter's boyfriend, I think is what it is.
Future son-in-law, probably.
Future son-in-law. Sammy Brown, Clemson linebacker, junior, coming in at 39. 39, linebacker, 13 and a half tackles for loss last year, 106 total tackles.
Seems a little high.
You think so?
Yeah.
See, I don't think it does. I think Sammy's one of the better linebackers in the country.
I agree, but he hasn't proven it as a leader of the defense yet.
106 tackles? That's pretty stout. I don't know. That was second most in the ACC. By the way, let's see here. Sam Levitt, Diesel. Sam Levitt, 37 LSU quarterback.
Surprised I didn't have him at like 10, gassing up LSU.
Oh, man. Let's see here. Other notable names. Do you remember Drew Mastamaker, quarterback, Oklahoma State sophomore? They have him at 32. He was a former walk-on. And one of the he was the FBS. Remember last year he was at North Texas, led FBS in passing yards.
Yes.
Transferred to Oklahoma State. He had 4,300 passing yards and 34 touchdowns last year, which was just stupid. Gunnar Stockton comes in at 31.
Okay.
Ahmad Hardy, running back, Missouri, 30. We all know he's a good running back.
He's the one who got shot in the leg, right?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Darian Mensah is where on the list? Where would you think? You know kind of where I am on the list now because I'm going through from 100 to
22.
23?
Okay.
23. I don't really have a huge issue with that. I would have Kevin Jennings closer to Darian Mensah, though.
Totally.
I just really like Darian Mensah, and I think he's going to have a good season at Miami. Let's see. Cam Coleman, Texas. Oh, here we go. Number 14 belongs to the Gamecocks. Dylan Stewart, defensive end, South Carolina junior. 19 tackles in 2025. Is that high for Dylan Stewart? I think it might be a little high.
I think it's a little high. I'd have Dylan Stewart somewhere in the 40s, and that has nothing to do with him potentially being unhealthy or less than 100% going into the year. I mean, he was a monster. He really was. We'll see if he can do it again this year.
I like Dylan Stewart a lot. 14's maybe it's interesting.
Where's Lenora Sellers on this list?
Oh, we'll see. Arch Manning, 13.
Oh,
13.
Okay.
3,100 yards last year.
You know, I didn't realize that Arch wears 16 because of Trevor Lawrence.
How about that?
I didn't know
Big
that.
Trevor guy.
Yeah, I saw a clip of him at Trevor Lawrence's camp or some camp that Trevor Lawrence was a counselor at.
Oregon quarterback Dante Moore, 11. I like that. I like Dante Moore a lot.
Yep, fine with that.
Almost 4,000 yards, I think, last year, 3,500 something, 30 touchdowns. Just an incredible year. Jaden Miava, quarterback, Southern Cal, number 9.
Oh, that's way high.
That's way high. Okay. Number 8, Julian Sayin, quarterback, sophomore at Ohio State. He had 3,600 yards and 32 touchdowns a year ago. Pretty good quarterback. I don't have a huge issue with that. Maybe he's a little high. I don't have a huge issue. CJ Carr, quarterback, Notre Dame, coming in at 7 as a sophomore. How about that?
Fascinating.
What I don't understand is Julian Sayin was way better than Carr was last year. CJ Carr. I don't know. I think
here's the thing, because Notre Dame finished inside the top 12 or is ranked preseason inside the top 12, you automatically have to include him in this list.
There's a clause.
That's
that he
the
has
rule,
to be.
yeah.
Kawan Lacey, running back, Ole Miss, number 6 is pretty good, but 6 seems a little. Trinidad Chambliss, number 5, Ole Miss quarterback diesel.
Okay.
Almost 4,000 last year, right? Malachi Tony, number 4. He's a beast. Did we talk to Malachi Tony? No, I don't think we got a chance to talk to Malachi Tony at ACC kickoff. Sophomore wide receiver, he's just unbelievable. Colin Simmons, edge rusher out of Texas at number 3, the third best player in college football. Wow. Number 2, Leonard Moore, corner out of Notre Dame. And number 1, you asked where Lenora Sellers is? Number 1.
No way.
Jeremiah Smith.
Okay.
Ohio State wide receiver.
You had me going there for a second.
So with that being said, can you remind me when I said Lenora Sellers' name on this? Do you remember?
Going down the list. It wasn't 99.
Take your shoes off if you need a. Where was Lenora Sellers on the college football
not on the list at all?
Not on the list.
That is a travesty. That is a travesty of a list.
I'm going through it again.
I mean, I wouldn't
to make sure.
I wouldn't have him ranked higher than about 50.
I think he has to be on the list, though.
But to not have him on the list at all.
See, I think he's probably top 50, top 60. I do. Lenora's, I think he is. I'm going through the list again just to make sure I'm not an idiot. I may already be an idiot, but I'm going through just to make sure. Guess what? I see C.J. Bailey. I see Deshaun Bishop. I'm telling you, Kevin Jennings is 73. What are we doing? Cam Robinson's on there. In the 70s, Noah Fafata.
He's not on it.
He's not on it.
I just did the old search, the old Control F.
He is not on.
No Lenora Sellers.
Is that disrespectful or what? Is that disrespect? Diesel, Lenora Sellers isn't top 100 in college. What am I missing? Can you explain
That's
that?
wild.
I wish we would have had this list to ask Shane Beamer about the other day. Come on, what are we doing?
Dylan Stewart, the only South Carolina Gamecock on the top 100.
2 Tigers, right? Will Helt and Sammy Brown.
Yep.
Nova Zena. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That's mean.
Crazy.
That's mean. That's mean. But no Lenora Sellers. How about that?
That's wild stuff. Hey, don't forget, Tolos, we got a big show lined up for you today at 4:20. Jed Blackwell of Prep Red Zone. He's going to talk high school football with us. Coming up at 4 o'clock, the opening of the very first week of upset picks of the season, week 1A. We are dubbing it. So 4 o'clock, 18 minutes from right now. And then coming up at 5:20, Bill Bender of The Sporting News, one of our favorite guests. He's going to join us. But on the other side of the break, Cole, it seems as if not everyone is in alignment. You know, coaches talk about alignment all the time. Not everyone is in alignment in Baton Rouge over you know what. I know you don't want to hear about this stuff, but it is fascinating. The absolute latest from Baton Rouge next.
Sound off now at 844-FAN-PHONE.
This is Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
The other thing I would say about LSU, and I'll just do this, and then Louis can fight me off. Can LSU for once in a life just lay low? I mean, let's go get Will Wade. Let's go out there and we'll figure out a way to get Kiffin out of Old Miss. Let's go spend $1 billion on this. Let's pay Brian Kelly off. Let's give the kid number 5 when he comes here from high school. Can LSU for once in their life just say, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be the first guinea pig to take a kid from the Browns on our team. Let somebody else do it for a change. I mean, geez, what is he, Kellen Winslow, that they got to have him on the ball club? I mean, I would love for once, Lewis, and he says, well, he'd go play for another team. Well, let him go play for another team. Why does LSU always got to be the first guy to be an outlier?
Oh, and LSU just brought in a basketball player, women's basketball player from Russia, Cole, and a female basketball player from the Ukraine quit the team. So Kim Mulkey is wrapped up in all of this weirdness and negativity on campus in Baton Rouge as well.
I love, and I mean absolutely love, Mad Dog Russo.
The accent is so good.
He's just great. And them having him on, I think, first take once a week on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to be on there more. He's too
so
funny. I think he's got a point, but also at the same time, like, I would say to him, Mad Dog, that's their MO. That's who they are. Like, that is now, they hadn't always been that way. They hadn't always been that way, which is, I guess, unfortunate in a way, but that's who they are right now. So if you're this way, lean into it, right? I mean, let's lean into it and make the most of it. And if you're nasty, be nasty. If you're cheating, whatever you call it, cheat. I mean, that's who they are.
Since we talked yesterday, the SEC came down and they finally issued their own ruling that said they are going to block or bar, ban, whatever word you want to use, ex-pros from coming back to schools within the SEC, and that applies to football, men's basketball, and women's basketball as well. The Sun Belt has made a similar statement, Cole. Whew, good Lord, I'm so glad that my conference is not going to let these guys in.
Not yet.
The ACC, I did see this earlier, like right before we came on the air, that the ACC and the Big 12 are expected to issue a similar kind of rule. But Cole, this is what's interesting about this is that the LSU board, the administration, the athletic department at LSU didn't say a word for like 3 days as all this stuff was coming down, as Lane Kiffin was doing his speech. If we don't get him, somebody else will, yada, yada, yada. And then Greg Sankey goes and gets a unanimous decision from all 16 schools in the SEC, came back and said, hey, all 16 schools say we don't want this. So I'm curious as to what the conversations like were between the administration at LSU and Lane as we were still in this sort of gray area. You knew something was going to come down at some point. You knew that the SEC was going to make a rule or something at some point, but it seems as if one day they're totally with Lane, the next day they're against Lane. And I can't imagine, Cole, that that's a comfortable athletic department building to be in.
I'd love to know what it's like, though. Like, I would love to, like we have one of these shows they do in NFL preseason called, where they film the
Hard
team.
Knocks.
Hard Knocks. Why don't we have some, think about the money that could be made right now on LSU. Like, Hard Knocks should just stop the press, whatever they're doing, whatever project, cut the project, quit the funding, whatever, and say, hey, we're going to LSU. Imagine if they were beginning, if they had begun Kim Mulkey, they get Will Wade, this would, to your point, everybody would watch. It'd be fascinating.
Just popped up on my watch. This just in, the SEC will suspend head coaches who bring back NFL, NBA, or WNBA players to their programs, being reported by Mark Schlabach and Pete Thamel. Lane Kiffin told On3, quote, it doesn't work like that. You can't decide, hey, I like that injunction. I don't like that one. That kind of play I like, and I like the way they got him eligible. We're going to follow those rules, not these. So Lane Kiffin, number one, Cole, he needs to learn to read the room, right? The ruling has come down that you are not going to be allowed to bring these guys onto your roster. I don't know that it's a smart decision to continue to poke the bear, whether that's going to ruffle the feathers of your administration inside. And I wonder, Cole, if if some enterprising lawyer could look at that and say, make an argument that it's conduct detrimental. I mean, I don't know. It would be an extremely thin argument. But like if Lane really ran afoul of the administration at LSU, and then again, remember, all he has to do is beat Clemson and all sins are forgiven, right?
Oh, I mean, but they want to win.
But like, if this already is the first crack in the dam, and before the season even gets started, and people inside that administration say, we really just don't like this guy. He's an antagonist. He's coming after us now. We don't like this. I mean, I'm just saying it's not a good idea to poke your administration. It's not a good idea to poke your conference and every other member of your conference as well.
I don't know if we're going to roll with this or not, but I think you brought it up in the very first segment. Sandstorm might be our upset picks theme song to open upset picks today. I mean, we can get our rally towels going with Sandstorm. I don't know if there's a better theme. I mean, the hype. Maybe what is the one Virginia Tech does when they come out? Enter Sandman's good, but Sandman. We'll see. We'll see if Sandstorms are. We've got to bring the energy here because 5 minutes from right now. 5 minutes, Diesel. The Upset Picks Challenge, OPENS, right here on the Fan Upstate. We're ecstatic. We can't wait. If you haven't participated before, what the heck are you waiting on? We're diving in full steam ahead next right here on the Fan Upstate. Diesel, you don't have a white handkerchief. Now you do. Here, you take the paper towel. Now you've got a white handkerchief, paper towel. You can sandstorm. We can sandstorm. The Upset Picks Challenge is worth sandstorming too, regardless of who you're a fan of, right? It's not a Gamecock thing. It's a sandstorm thing. We're fired the freak up. We're excited. We're rolling. The Upset Picks Challenge. It is open, and I mean wide open. Week 1A of the college football season. It begins right now. If you've never participated before, we need your name, the game, and the spread of who you think is going to outright win the game. Any game this weekend on Saturday. There are 8 games, Diesel, that right? 8 games to choose from.
Not a lot to choose from.
And we are off. Text it in, 844-326-3663. We're fired up. We're jacked up, ready to go. And, oh, boy, here come the text messages. We, Diesel, want to hit an all-time high. We want to break the record. And if you are listening to the sound of our voice and have never played, you don't know what you're missing. You got to get in on the Upset Picks Challenge. It's so much fun. Diesel, are you as fired up as I am?
I love this challenge every single year. You know, it's a staple. It's one of the few things that remained from the previous show in this day part to us because the Tolos love it so much.
You got to.
Had to bring it back for you guys because this is the most fun thing we do every year.
It's so much fun. It is so much fun. Again, you're looking for an underdog to outright win the game.
That's it.
For example, if you think Sacramento State's going to beat Eastern Michigan, you send in Bob. Sacramento State plus 10.
Yep.
Over Eastern Michigan. Now, I'm not recommending the Maction game on Saturday night, but it's available for you.
I don't know. I don't feel good about any Maction team to win a game regardless of who they're playing.
Somebody has to win, though. I think.
Sacramento State is an FBS team now, though.
Here they come on the text line, 844-326-3663. Dan B on YouTube says, hey, lines are locked, by the way. And we have callers waiting on hold to get in their upset pick at 844-326-3663. We start with the one and only Leprechaun of Lyman. It's your show for the next few minutes. Leprechaun, the floor is yours.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but the Leprechaun of Lyman is still in hibernation. He's coming out of it, though.
Wake his ass up.
Wait, what?
God.
What? What just changed? I thought this was the Leprechaun.
This is the most serious case of blue balls we've ever gotten on this
No
station.
doubt.
Hey, he's coming out of hibernation, though. He's almost ready. Notre Dame football hasn't kicked off yet, and it's not kicking off for another week.
I remember Notre Dame's MO. If they can't participate, they just take their ball and go home. So the Leprechaun won't come out either.
So anyway, all I'm getting at is, he's coming out of hibernation. He's making those poems. He put a piece of media together that he wanted me to send to you, Diesel, for next week. But anyway, he'll fully come out of hibernation on Sunday, and then he'll consume about 1.4 billion milligrams of caffeine, whether that be coffee or Dr. Pepper. But anyway.
No, Agent. We were told when we answered the phone this was going to be the Leprechaun of Lyman.
Well, I apologize. That's my mistake.
What are we doing here?
All right. Well, all I'm doing is I'm giving you his upset pick. He did mumble his upset pick to me. And between it, I think he either said New Mexico State over Florida State plus 30.5 or North Carolina over TCU plus 7.5. And he doesn't like hoodie, so he couldn't have been talking about North Carolina. So we're going to go with New Mexico State over Florida State.
So wait a minute, Diesel. Wait a minute.
30.5.
Time out. We're allowing other people to put other people's upset. I just think this is unacceptable. I think you need to wake them up, have them call in later this week. It's unacceptable in my opinion.
What do you think, Diesel?
We're going to need to hear it directly from the Leprechaun. So
later this week, can you? I mean, what are we doing?
Oh my God! Wake up right now! Italy, who? Oh, to you boys, I'm going to pick. What did I say in my sleep? You said New Mexico State over Florida State. New Mexico State over Florida State plus 30.5. Now let me get back to bed.
30.5 hiddly-hoos.
Oh,
And he's taking New Mexico State over Florida State.
that's fantastic. I am so glad we woke him up. That deserves a good golf clap.
Love it. Nicely done.
That's good. That's
Appreciate
good.
you.
Leprechaun and Lyman. We're keeping it rolling, Diesel. A lot of texts coming in. 844 fan phone. If you just tuned in, the Upset Picks Challenge is open. We go to the one and only, the one Tolo that we don't hear from the other 9 months of the year. He calls in, though, to give his upset pick. It's Delvin. What's up, Delvin?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
We're good, but we would be a lot better if we heard from you a lot more because we love hearing from you, Delvin. We think you are one of our, we don't think, we know, you're one of our best callers. Where you been, man?
In hibernation. Leprechaun.
Great answer. Great answer, Delvin. Fantastic answer. Touche on that.
Yeah, give me Memphis plus 4.5 over UNLV.
Memphis plus 4.5 over UNLV.
Delvin,
Yeah,
how? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jackson Arnold is the quarterback for UNLV. I pick anybody who Jackson Arnold quarterback. I pick against anybody who Jackson Arnold is quarterback.
Ooh, hater. Jackson Arnold hater.
I love it. How you been, Delvin?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm just glad this is back, man. Because if y'all would have took this way, I would have came up to the studio and had to get y'all.
No. We were going to do
You
that.
know, Delvin, there was an attempt here, and Cole and I, we got out our swords and shields and we fought it off like the brave Spartans at the gates of Thermopylae. They tried to come in and change the Upset Picks Challenge to fit an advertiser. And we said, no way, no how. That's not happening. The Upset Picks Challenge stays the same.
Yeah, now I'm already jumping ahead. I'm looking at these games next week. I'm trying to jump ahead and see.
Let's
go. Week 1B gonna be next week. So
Hey, Delvin, since I don't hear from you often, what are you feeling about our Cowboys? I need to know.
If our defense is right in I say top 20, we can win that division.
Yes.
It got to be top 20 because if we below top 20, we don't got no chance because they be scoring on our defense all day long.
Hey, you know the good thing, Delvin, can't be any worse.
Yeah, it can't be any worse.
Can't be any worse. Good to hear from you, brother. Good to hear from you. Call anytime.
Guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Delvin.
Catch you next week, Delvin.
Who do you
Good
take
stuff.
again, Diesel? Who was this pick?
Delvin took Memphis plus 4.5 over UNLV.
I just had a friend of mine text me personally. How do I sign up for the Upset Picks Challenge? If you just tuned in just now, the Upset Picks Challenge, you text your name, the game, and the spread.
Yep.
So, for example, you heard Delvin do it perfectly. The first game is UNC TCU, and
Correct.
TCU is favored by 8.5 points. So the goal is to find a game where you think the underdog, which would be North Carolina, is going to outright win the game. You text in your name, which is, we're going to say Bob. You text in Bob, North Carolina plus, because they're the underdog, 8.5 over TCU. Text that to 844-FAN-PHONE, 844-326-3663. And right now, Diesel, the Upset Picks Challenge is open for the remainder of the show.
Correct.
As well as during show hours tomorrow and Friday. And here they come on the Joy Law Firm text line already.
Yeah, the lines are coming in. Let's see. Maize Brew is going North Carolina over TCU. Tim D and Easley is taking NC State plus 4.5 over Virginia. I think that spread should be bigger than that, to be honest.
Which one?
NC State over Virginia.
You think it should be more than 4?
I think so. But
Look at that
wait a
game.
minute. Is that? Yes, that is this weekend. I want to double check and make sure.
That's a 3:30 early ACC matchup. So you're saying who? You think Virginia's going to win by a lot more than 4?
Oh, yeah, I think Virginia covers. I think Virginia covers. This was the game. Remember, this was the game that's supposed to be in Brazil.
That's
that
right.
For whatever reason got moved back to the States.
Where's your confidence in CJ Bailey?
On the floor. He's got to earn it, you know. I'm not just going to give it to him because he's tall.
He's tall.
So you got 8 games to choose from this week, Tolos. Let's see. You got 2 massive spreads that you could choose. San Jose State plus 39.5 on the road at Southern Cal. Or New Mexico State plus 31.5 on the road at Florida State. All the rest of the games are fairly close. I mean, 10-point spread between Sacramento State and Eastern Michigan. Remember, Tolos, you are picking the outright upset, and then you will get the number of points that is the spread added to a rolling season-long tally. So, Bob, for this hypothetical example, if you took North Carolina plus 8.5 over TCU and North Carolina wins that game, you get 8.5 points. Congratulations. You got 8.5 points until next week. Then you pick again. And if you get it right, you add more points to the spread or more points to the total. If you get it wrong, you lose a point. If you don't make a pick at all, so we got to make sure you're coming back week after week after week. If you don't make a pick at all, you lose 2 points. And Dan B, I'm totally on board with this new rule that we're implementing this year. Sorry, no injunction is going to save you if you don't like the rule. If you fail to make a pick for 4 straight weeks, straight back to 0.
All right, I have a question for you.
Yep.
And Dan B, Dan does a great job with this challenge. He's the orchestrator, right? He's the mastermind.
He does such a good job keeping all these picks straight.
He can vote. He can answer on this as well. But I think this would be fun, Diesel, to follow during the course of the season. Can my friend also participate in this challenge?
Who is your friend?
His name is Chad GPT.
Oh.
And I think it would be really interesting to see if we ask Chad every week who they would pick and keep up with their pick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have permission? Can I invite them to the challenge?
Why not?
Okay.
Why not? So,
AI.
Yeah, we do include the College Game Day crew. So if you told us, Dan B does a great job compiling all of these, making sure that your picks are accurate. Some people send in a slightly incorrect pick because they saw a line somewhere. I don't know where some of you are getting these lines. You'll send it in and it'll be like 2 points off. But regardless,
we'll fix it.
Everybody who picks the same game gets the same number of points. Spreads are locked in as of 4:00 on Wednesdays. So whether you pick at 4:00 on Wednesday or whether you pick at 6:00 on Friday, you're going to get the same number of points. Doesn't matter if the spread has moved since then. You will get the 4 p.m. locked in spread. But Dan B also does a great job watching College Game Day, and he uses the super dog picks of the hosts on the show to count as their upset picks. They can't obviously win the challenge, but
sure,
it's just a way to know,
measuring stick,
right?
Measuring
stick, picking against Herbie, picking against Reese, picking against Pat.
I want to give you my friend, my close friend. Some days we're friends, some days we're not. Chat GPT. Are you ready for this week's pick from Chat GPT, Diesel? You're the mastermind writing all these picks down. Chat GPT is going with CJ Bailey and North Carolina State to beat Virginia outright.
Wow.
So there's the pick from Chat GPT. Can AI, how mad would you be if AI won this challenge? Would that be, okay, maybe they're not allowed to win, but what if they did? It would be unbelievable. It says CJ Bailey is the major reason he returns as NC State starting quarterback after going for 3,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, strong play down the stretch. It also says NC State has owned this matchup. They've won 6 of the last 7.
Whoa.
The line feels a little dependent on last year's success for Virginia. It's in Charlottesville now, which will obviously help Virginia. Chat GPT going with the Tar Heels. How about it?
You mean the Wolfpack?
I'm sorry, the Wolf Tar Heels.
Oh, if Chat GPT thinks the NC State Tar Heels are going to win this
wrong
thing.
North Carolina team, the Wolfpack. I had the North Carolina State right. The state right of North Carolina, just the wrong mascot.
We don't get to say this very often, but I think the atmosphere in Charlottesville is going to be insane for that, right? I mean, they're coming off a great season.
11 wins, right?
11 wins last year. They got Bo Pribula back. Tony Elliott has got that program rolling. I think the atmosphere is going to be nuts.
That could be fun.
It's a fun stadium. It's not huge, but it's built like a bowl. It's really, really vertical once you get to that second deck all the way around the upper side.
Dan B votes on YouTube. He says Chad GPT can be a player. Why not? So we have allowed it. Look how far we've come, Diesel. We have allowed AI into our upset picks challenge.
Dear God.
How many Tolos will now choose their weekly pick because of AI? Somebody's going to do it.
That's not a smart decision.
No.
Let's be real. Chat GPT just picked NC State.
It did. What's the Wolfpack? What is the?
They do this.
Go
thing,
Pack.
Yeah.
Go Pack, says Chat GPT.
They also do this little dinky thing, which I think the little mouth thing with the Wolfpack is about as silly as the woohoo at Clemson.
Do they howl? Oh,
I don't know. I'm sure they do.
Go Wolfpack,
Goodness
baby.
gracious.
Go Wolfpack.
When are you gonna commit to getting your picks in early? Because
Not
last
every
year
week.
you let me run in with torch ablazing and make my pick in the first segment every week. And then you were like, well, I'm just going to hang back until later in the week to get more information.
And it paid off. I finished top 30.
Well,
Top
that's
30.
fine.
I researched and I thought long and hard about my picks. I didn't go free balling with no boxers on into the contest like you did. I did a little research.
It's my favorite Tom Petty song.
Yeah, you gotta ease into the water. Okay, we're not doing a cannonball. I might have one here in the next few minutes, though. Do you already have yours already?
I do not, as a matter of fact.
Oh, here you go. Give me a hard time.
I don't
have yours.
Well, somebody's got to sit here and copy and paste all these messages.
Let me say this.
Mark L.O. Ducks, who's taking Hawaii +4 over Stanford.
I do think Delvin earlier said UNLV Memphis was his game.
Yep.
I do. My early lean. This is not my pick. I like Memphis over UNLV. Memphis has always been a strong, upset contender. I feel like I've picked them a couple of times over the past couple of years, and I think I've hit a few times with them. That's not my pick right now. But what I like about it is Diesel is 4.5, which means Vegas expects a really close football game.
Yeah.
In week 1, I kind of like that 4.5 point spread.
Well, here's why I would not pick Memphis. Charles Huff. Charles Huff is the head football coach now at Memphis.
And
he was the head football coach at Marshall 2 years ago, left Marshall to take the job at Southern Miss, was there for 1 year, jumped ship, and is now at Memphis. The dude is bouncing from place to place to place. He's got no continuity, no longevity anywhere. And I just don't have any faith in Charles Huff to go across the country and beat Dan Mullen. Not going to happen.
Have we, since you're the input guy on the spreadsheet right now, have we had anybody take the big swinger, the big dipper yet?
Well, the Leprechaun of Lyman did. The Leprechaun of Lyman took the New Mexico State +30.5 over Florida State.
That is unbelievable. That is, and the other one, by the way, is San Jose State as the underdog against Southern Cal, 39. That's like Tolos. If you pick that one, you're just wasting a pick.
Well, you can't go below 0. So
no, but
you're only really risking nothing. You're not really risking anything.
You're not going to hit on a 39.5 point spread.
That's what people say every year. Now, here's a reminder, and we appreciate Oil Tiger, Stanford JB, Mark L.O. Ducks, Roger Carper. All you guys are getting your picks in.
Let's go.
Make sure you send your picks in with the same name every single time. Because if you just send it in as Steven, well, there's like 30 Stevens, and there could be like 5 or 6 different people who have the name Steven in their larger name, like Stephen Webb or Stephen Carper or whoever. Make sure you send it in the exact same way every single time, because we do not keep a record of your phone number that you texted in on.
Or your burner cell phone.
Correct.
Or your gel prison phone if you're sending it in from prison.
I don't know. I don't want to know how you got that prison phone in. Cole, let's just get off of this subject right now, and let's turn it to something a lot more positive. Jed Blackwell, Prep Red Zone. He's going to talk high school football with us, recap week number 1, look ahead to this Friday's games. Hopefully a lot more of them get played and we don't get rained out or lightning calling games. But we'll talk to Jed about high school football in the upstate next. Well, Cole, I'm going to be standing outside with a giant fan in my hands for the next 3 days, trying to push any weather out of the upstate we can for Friday night because, oh boy, is there a big one. Let's talk high school football right now with Jed Blackwell of Prep Red Zone. Jed, Cole and I were talking about this yesterday off the air about how much it stinks to have Burns-Dorman be a non-region game. I just hope that these kids and these coaches can manufacture some kind of motivation for this game, right?
I just said not a half hour ago, your week 9 quality, week 2 matchup.
Right.
And that's exactly what it is.
It does sound weird, though.
Gracious. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
So
I specifically don't like it because Burns doesn't have one under their belt.
Yeah.
To that point there, Jed, I know it struck a lot of people the wrong way when they moved Burns out of that Spartanburg region, put him in the Greenville region. I know that they're going to redraw these lines here in a couple of years. What have you heard about any push to make sure that Burns gets back in the same Spartanburg region where they've always been the next time they realign?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I've got some opinions, and Cole knows. Cole and I have talked about my opinions many, many times over the years. What we want is not in the best interest in football in the rest of the state. They don't want Burns and Dorman and everybody in one region rolling things up and sharpening themselves and getting ready. Anything that can be done on a statewide level to kind of even the playing field is what's going to be done, which is it's awful. I don't love it at all. They could have fairly easily, if I remember my math, they could have easily gone 3 8-team regions in the upper state and would have been fine.
Yeah.
Didn't do that. Elected not to. In 5A, it makes no sense not to because everybody's got plenty of money, can afford plenty of travel. That's where you do it.
Sure.
I don't get. I know somebody's got to go. For the record, I didn't like it any better when it was Bowling Springs and Gaffney 1 2-year cycle, Spartanburg and Gaffney another 2-year cycle who were sent over toward Rock Hill.
Yeah.
I didn't like that any better. I certainly don't like this. And for football, and I know what I'm about to say is not going to be the correct thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Yes.
It engenders a competitive imbalance because Hillcrest and Burns after week 6 will not play us all. And I'm sorry as I can be, but when you get to the playoffs, that's what you're dealing with. You won't have played a team of your caliber for 4 weeks.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. Talking to Jed Blackwell, Prep Red Zone, covering upstate high school football. Jed, when you look at this matchup Friday, you mentioned just a few minutes ago that Burns doesn't have one under their belt. They have played 48 reps this preseason, which is less than a full game itself. And Coach Shaw told me earlier today that's the least he's ever had in his 30-some-odd years coaching high school football. So this is essentially the first game for Burns. Dorman got a season or a game rather under their belt, even though it was delayed last week against Hillcrest. I was able to watch the second half of that game. And we all know Dorman, a very, very good football team, regardless of who the quarterback is. They've got weapons everywhere. When you look at the matchup, what intrigues you the most about Dorman Burns on Friday night?
Well, first, there were some years that 48 reps wasn't a good first quarter for Burns, if you're counting both ways.
Right.
The intriguing thing about this matchup is the secondaries both ways. I think both secondaries are extremely talented. Burns is maybe a little bit younger than Dorman. Back there on the back end, 2 of the best players on the field, Aiden Wiggins for Burns, Jabez Thomas for Dorman, will be on the back end of the secondary. We know about the defensive lines. We know about the linebackers. Those secondaries are going to be, to me, the key of the game, particularly when you're looking at quarterbacks on both sides of the ledger who have yet to be made to make a play.
Yeah.
Can you go make a play and beat somebody? We'll see, I think.
Talking to Jed Blackwell of Prep Red Zone. We recognized Greer running back Calvin McCoy yesterday. He was a monster last week. Can you peer into your crystal ball and give us an idea who might be poised to have a big week this week?
Well, I want to say something about Calvin McCoy first.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only guy I think we learned anything about last week. Everybody else is pretty much, we knew who they are, who we thought they were from what we've seen. But Calvin McCoy proved that he can carry that Greer offense, and Xavier Salmon at quarterback proved that McCoy might not have to. And I think Greer's going to be kind of scary if they can find some things to shore up the defense. That said, this week, you know, to me, let's go way out on a limb. J.P. Branyan from Landrum ran for 225 yards last week on 27 carries. I think he's in line for another type of game like that against 96.
Yeah,
I really do think that some of the lower classification guys are who we're going to see this week, because there's some heavyweight battles. You know, Spartanburg Greenwood, Gaffney Mann, Dorman Burns. Those are all some heavyweight battles. The only kind of one-sided looking matchups on paper are down in those lower classifications. I think a bunch of guys there will have a chance to really kind of reinforce what they did. Ashton Moore at Chapman's another. I think the two quarterbacks in the Chesney Broome game, Braden Simpson and Evan Reese Lauder, I think those two guys can make a mark for themselves this week.
Speaking of the player of the week, I do want to bring this to the air since we're talking high school football. I was told today, Diesel Tolo's out there, that we got some big news regarding our weekly Whataburger, What a Player, Fan Upstate Player of the Week. If you are named a Fan Upstate Player of the Week this season, you are going to be entered into a scholarship competition from Whataburger, where if you are selected, you will receive a scholarship to continue your hopefully playing career. So very big news today from our sales department. Excited about that, and excited about who you just mentioned, Diesel, would be the player of the week. Talk about that Spartanburg Gaffney game, man. Hey, on the player of the week thing, you know, if Spartanburg would have won the game, Jed, their running back Trenton Lynch would have probably been player of the week for a lot of different people out there, but Gaffney won the game, and that's 10 in a row for Gaffney over Spartanburg. The outcome, 24-20, I believe, was the final score. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But do you believe there's something mental when it comes to Spartanburg not being able to get over the hump with Gaffney, or is it just, hey, they hadn't had better teams?
I don't know if it's mental, but when you look at the way Gaffney's done it, just kind of snatching it away at the last minute a couple of times here, particularly these last 3 or 4. You look at how Gaffney's done it, you've got to think there's something. Maybe it's a ghost. I'm not sure what it is, but that was a heck of a drive to go win it, and a heck of a defensive stand to make it stand up last week. We were fortunate enough to watch part of that in the press box at Greer, because I've got the ability to do that on my laptop. So we were looking at some of that game as it was progressing and as we were waiting for things to happen. It's a heck of a thing. You mentioned Lynch. To need 1,000 yards to become the school's all-time leading rusher, and now you played one game, you need a third less than that. That's pretty strong. He's going to cause some people some problems, but I think Gaffney and Spartanburg both. I think it goes back to the point we were making about quarterback play. They've got to see if their guy can beat you. They've got to see if down the stretch they've got somebody that can go make a play.
You know, Jed, a lot of people have some high opinions of what Greenville could be this season, but they lost to Fountain Inn last week. They go on the road and play Malden on Friday. I have to get through that Malden traffic every Friday night when they host a home game, and it's a big deal, man. Malden is starting to really show out for that team. Give us your thoughts on that matchup Friday night.
Well, first, there's no reason you haven't come see me and pick up a pair of boots at Harrison's, because you need to do that.
Okay.
I don't know, Diesel's. You a boot guy?
I'm wearing flip-flops right now, Jed.
Well, we can get you in a trust me, we can work with that. Yeah, Malden's got a shot. Malden is much improved. Didn't get a chance to show it much the other night. They were one of those that was hampered by the weather. I do think Malden's got a really good offensive line, and they're really good on the defensive line. And Greenville's Sam Holliday from Fountain Inn's a winner. But
yeah,
I'll get that out of the way. He is a dude. But Greenville struggled with some of the things that he could do, and then they turned it over. I think Fountain Inn forced 3 turnovers, recovered a fumble in the end zone late to kind of seal it, kind of put it away. If Greenville doesn't take care of the ball better, Malden's definitely got a shot, but I think Malden's got a shot anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right. What a win, and as we just talked about with Fountain Inn over Greenville last week, that was a big win when it comes to Fountain Inn. On Twitter, Jed, this week, boy, the North Carolina coaches media not happy at all with the outcome of Burns Independence. I talked to Charlie Winsky at the high school league office on Monday, and Coach Williams and Independence, they're pushing, they're advocating on behalf of Independence, North Carolina. In all your years that you've covered high school football, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I've not. I think Dutch Fork had a no contest with somebody a couple of years ago, Mallard Creek, maybe. That's the first time I've ever heard of it. But when everything is so dependent upon that RPI, you've got to have a winner.
Sure.
You've got to figure out a way that somebody wins. I think the easiest thing would be to say, hey, we don't care how you count it. You can count it any way you want to count it. What we're saying has no impact on your record whatsoever. Right. But we're 1-0. You can go back to North Carolina and score it however you want to score it. But for playoff purposes, we're 1-0.
Yeah.
I don't know why there would be a problem with that.
It's interesting, man. It really is.
Jed, I know we have a real strong listenership up in the Gaffney area. We hear from them every single day on the show. Talk to us about those Gaffney Indians, as they're now classified as Region 4A or Class 4A Region 2, and their ability to roll that region this year.
I certainly wouldn't count out Greenwood and Greer just yet. I think from what I saw the other night, now Greer has got some holes to fix defensively, but offensively they look pretty good. Xavier Samet is their quarterback, as I mentioned earlier. Every time he gives it or he keeps it, it looks just like a give until he's got it and gone. Greenwood is breaking in a couple of new guys at quarterback. They got it done on the ground the other night. They had a kid, or I think as a team they rushed for nearly 400 yards on the ground. But Gaffney, to me, with that defense, has got to be the favorite, mainly because they can make you one-dimensional. I think we saw that against Spartanburg the other night. I think we'll see it against Man again. That back four is so good that they can take some things away and dictate what you do. And then when Bailey turns around and runs that little short yardage, first of all, Meyer White did a great job running the ball the other night, but Bailey in crunch time, when you needed the yards, when you needed the score, he's who they turn to. When your middle linebacker is also one of your best offensive threats at the 4A level, and we're used to them being 5A, and let's not kid ourselves, he would be at the 5A level too.
Mm-hmm.
When that's the case, yeah, that's pretty special.
Yeah, it is. We're talking to Jed Blackwell, Prep Red Zone, talking high school football, recapping week 1, looking ahead to this Friday night, week 2, hopefully with the weather, as Diesel said, hopefully moving out of our way on Friday. Had a lot of delays this past Friday. Jed, when you look at Spartanburg, they're hitting the road again. 2 weeks in a row, they're on the road, this time at Greenwood. I think this is a really intriguing matchup. And Spartanburg, they showed last week that they can run the ball with the best of them. Trenton Lynch had a huge game. Greenwood certainly doesn't have the roster and the quarterback they had a season ago. What do you expect, Spartanburg, Greenwood? Is this the week that Spartanburg, in a gauntlet of a schedule, gets back on track?
Well, it could be over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I think both teams are going to run it and then run it some more and then run it one more time, and then they might open things up.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game that Spartanburg can win. Greenwood's good defensively, but man, Lynch is when you start putting your name up there among some of the best to ever do it in the county, regardless of where they played. Carney Norris, Tavian Feaster,
mm-hmm.
Stephen Davis, Trenton Lynch. When that's a sentence, come on, man.
Yeah.
I think it's going to hinge on defense, both sides. I think if either team can force the other to throw it, that favors them. But I've seen Trenton Lynch probably 8 times in his high school career, and nobody's taken him out of the game yet. I haven't seen it done, and everybody knows 40's getting the ball, and 40 gets the ball, and he does Trenton Lynch things. I've never seen him taken out of the game, and I don't expect I'll see it on Friday night.
Jed, when you look at what Spartanburg does with that non-region schedule, kind of a follow-up question, my goodness, Mark Hodge and his job security, it must be really, really good because he schedules the brutal schedules that you see year in, year out, non-region. Do you think that pays off? Do you think that pays off eventually? Or do you think that's something that, of course can have its positive and its benefits, but can also hurt you at the same time?
Well, I'm going to say something that I hope is heard as a compliment because I certainly mean it that way. Going back to his days at Chapman, even, I have never met a human being who cares less what his record is in non-region than Mark Hodge.
Sure.
Never. He doesn't care. He wants 5 games. He wants to get better all 5 games. Now, saying he doesn't care doesn't mean he doesn't want to go 5-0 in those games. It means it's not the biggest thing to him. He wants to get better. He wants to improve. He wants to work on things here and there. Of course, he wants to win, but those next 5 are the 5 that really matter. And then the 5 after that are the ones that get you a big shiny trophy, and he's got 2 of them. There's a method to that madness, and I do think that Spartanburg's strength of schedule only helps them. Yes, it gets you a little beat up sometimes. Yes, you struggle a little bit. Yes, you might be 3-2 or 2-3. But I do think down the stretch, they have been there and they've been battle tested. And would you rather have that or would you rather have 4 cupcake wins in a rivalry?
Mm-hmm. Jed, we have a listener, Cole, help me out. I think it's Matt in Ohio who moved to the upstate, lives in the Travelers Rest area. He asked us last week to give him a couple of games that might be sneaky good, some really good environments, really good games in and around that Travelers Rest area, somewhere within like a 20, 25, 30-minute drive. What would you say this week is the best sneaky good game in that northern Greenville area?
Oh, gosh. In that northern Greenville area, this week I don't know because a lot of folks are traveling. A lot of people are on the road. If you want to go just outside that 25 minutes, if you can give me 35, I'd go see Fountain Inn in Woodruff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be an incredible matchup. You can come down Pleasantburg, get right on 385. You can be there in no time. I think that's going to be one of the best ones that there is. Greer and Union County's moved, but it's at Union County anyway, or I tell you to go to Greer.
And that's tomorrow night, right, Jed?
Yeah, that's tomorrow. But it's at Union anyway. But right. Calvin McCoy's worth putting on your calendar. Yeah. He is worth going to see.
And also, hey, let me ask you a real quick follow-up to that. Hillcrest, Somerville, that game is at Serene, is that right?
It is. Hillcrest field is not quite done yet. All of the schools in Greenville County over the next 2 or 3 years are getting field turf, and there are a couple that aren't quite finished. I'm not sure that Fountain Inn's quite done yet. I know Hillcrest isn't finished. There are a couple more.
Yeah. Jed, always appreciate your time. We'll do it again next week.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me.
Yep. Thanks, Jed.
Jed Blackwell, Prep Red Zone, getting a high school football rundown. Last week, what happened? This week, what's going to happen?
What would you do, Cole, if I went and saw Jed at his place of business and I came in with a pair of cowboy boots?
I think you could rock them. I've never seen you wear cowboy boots, of course.
I've never worn cowboy boots.
I think you could do it.
Not once in my life.
I think you could. You might could pull them off. You might could pull off the Eric
Are they
Church
comfortable?
look.
Are cowboy boots comfortable?
You get the right ones. Huh. Yeah, you get the right ones for sure. It can't. I love them. I have 2 pair, but they're not the high dollar stuff now that you could afford. But I do have 2 pair. We got to get to our daily wires. That is next. It's time, Diesel, to hit all of our headlines in a segment we call our Daily Wires. It's the buzz. Top sports headlines in one segment coming to you. Rapid fire. The Atlanta Braves defeated the LA Dodgers 4-3 last night. What a game. I'm telling you, man, that was a lot of fun last night. The clutch performance by Iglesias last night. Are you kidding me? Shohei Ohtani on third with no outs. And you're able – come on, the Braves. That was big time last night. Atlanta now 77-55 on the season, 4.5-game lead. It's A.J. Smith-Shawver on the mound tonight.
A lot of scoring early in that game and then just watching a pitcher's duel from there.
I love it. Man, it was such a good game. The New York Giants wide receiver Calvin Austin III will miss the upcoming season with a torn ACL in his right knee. Ran a route in Tuesday's training camp. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter, just 27 years old. He was with the Steelers his first 4 seasons in the NFL. Buccaneers rookie pass rusher Diesel Reuben Bain Jr. from Miami suffered an AC sprain, but thank goodness it's nothing serious. He's expected to be played to be ready to be playing week 1 when Tampa Bay visits Cincinnati. You can't lose a guy that young, that talented, Reuben Bain. So hopefully he stays healthy. Chicago Cubs last night set a franchise record on Tuesday by scoring their 30th unanswered run over 3 games. That's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Breaking the previous record of 29 over a 3-game stretch in 1969. How about that?
Crazy.
30 straight. In golf, Scotty Scheffler said he is 95% recovered from hand, foot, and mouth disease heading into the Tour Championship, which tees off Thursday at East Lake Golf Club. Scheffler battled the illness during last week's BMW Championship, where he tied for 12th at 7 under at Belvedere Country Club in St. Louis.
How do you get hand, foot, and mouth disease? What is hand disease? What is that?
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Making out with a cow? Like, is it like hoof and mouth?
It's tough, isn't it?
What is going on?
Well, the SEC finally joined the Big Ten on Tuesday and said, hey, okay, we're opposed. We're opposed to professional players coming back into college football. That's what they said, at least in a statement yesterday. The NFL will inform its clubs that any player who returns to college ranks will be prohibited from signing with an NFL team this season. How about that?
You go back to college, you can't come back to the NFL this year.
Come back, Jag, for now, like you said, for now. Keyword for now. And last one for you here in the Daily Wires. Tommy Castellanos Diesel, who spent time at Boston College, Florida State. He's headed to Texas Tech, West Texas, baby.
How about it? Remember, we talked to him at ACC kickoff last year as he was excited to head to Florida State. And, well, it didn't quite work out for old Tommy down in Tallahassee. Tallahassee Tommy. So he's out. He's going to be Texas Tech Tommy.
There you go.
How about that? When we come back, Tolos, it is time to get another push for you to send us your upset picks here on the first day of the 2026 Upset Picks Challenge, and we're going to get into our picks for the participants from each conference who will play for a national championship this year. That's next. Here I am, Cole, waving my sandstorm flag.
No, I don't have it ready. I don't have it ready.
/ white paper towel.
No, we're going to do
it's interesting that South Carolina fans wave the white towel before every game.
we're going to do Enter Sandman for hour number 5. Is that okay?
We'll do that.
I like Enter Sandman. Metallica. I mean, you should love it.
Love that song.
I mean, come on.
I am so glad that we now have our first teachable moment on the text line at 844 fan phone in the 2026 Upset Picks Challenge.
Call them out.
A texter whose last 4 digits are 5318. You didn't put your name on it. So how are we supposed to know who you are? Upset Picks Challenge has been going on for years, Cole. This happens every week. People forget to put their name on their text messages.
Yeah.
But we ask for 3 things when you send us your upset pick. We need your name, we need the game, and we need the spread. The spreads can be found at ESPN.com. Remember, Tolos, you are guessing or predicting an outright upset. So
it's Blake. He admitted to it on YouTube. So Blake, resend it. Resend it.
Yeah, we can't do the separate text messages. If you send your pick in one and you send your spread in another and you send your name in a third.
By the way,
no. We don't play that game.
I apologize. I said hour number 5. I meant the 5 o'clock hour. Dan B called me out on it. It is not hour number 5 of the show. It's hour number 3.
It's okay. Just like Blake, we are not in midseason form yet either.
Hour number 5 would be brutal.
Hour number 5. Oh, man.
Woo!
I was thinking earlier, and I was chatting with Mark Hendricks down the hall, our boss, about the marathon show that Dan Scott's going to have to do tomorrow. When you hear Furman football right here on the Fan Upstate, Furman hosting Anderson, 7 o'clock kick, which means 5:30 showtime. They do a 90-minute pregame show. Then they call the game, which is college football game, 3 hours, 3.5, sometimes 4, depending on how long it takes. But it's not a TV game, so it shouldn't take a tremendous amount of time. And then he does the post-game show as well. So Dan goes through a marathon every game day when he hosts.
He's built for it, though. Dan's built for it.
He's a pro.
And speaking of Furman, Clay Hendricks tonight, right here on the Fan Upstate at 6:22. Yep. We'll talk Furman football with Coach Hendricks tonight. Upset picks, though, like you said, Diesel, they're wide open. You can call or text 844-326-3663. We played Sandstorm in the 4 o'clock hour. We're playing Enter Sandman now. Tom would have been better to come on the air when we played Sandstorm.
Where were you, Tom?
In Somerville. He's a hard-working man. Tom, are you ready for the Upset Picks Challenge?
It's about time. I mean, we've known what this weekend was going to look like for 6 months. I don't know why we couldn't do it 6 months ago, but, or even Monday. But, hey, it is Wednesday, and I'm ready. And my first question before I get into my pick is, do any of the FCS games tomorrow night count?
No. If it's an FCS versus FCS game, no, it doesn't count. If it involves an FBS team and there is a spread on it, we will count that.
Got it. Okay, because Idaho and Cal Poly on Friday, obviously FCS and FCS does have a spread, but it's all right. I won't worry about it.
The reason for that, Tom, is that so few people ever pick the FCS games that we don't even bother to go and screenshot and lock those spreads in. I mean, there might be like 1 or 2 a season. Somebody will text in and take a random FCS game, but we just don't take them for that reason.
Tom, quit being difficult. For Christ's sake. I mean, you're a Gamecock fan. Quit being difficult. I mean, just pick the FBS games.
Okay.
God.
I had to make sure I got
yeah.
So I'm going to take Sacramento State plus 10.5 against Eastern Michigan.
It's not a bad pick.
Okay.
I mean,
10.5 is a lot of points.
Sacramento State is brand new in the FBS ranks, and Eastern Michigan always sucks. Somebody's got to win this game.
Going action, Tom.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is it's a MAC game.
MAC game.
But the Sacramento State roster, they got money to spend, and their roster should be the most expensive in the MAC, and it may be up there as one of the most expensive in the group of 5 or 6, whatever that number is now.
Isn't it great? Doesn't it make a ton of sense that Northern Illinois is playing in the Mountain West and Sacramento State is playing in the Middle American Conference?
Yeah. Hey, Tom,
0 cents.
we have a new player this year in the Upset Picks Challenge.
Who?
It's a friend of mine. His name is Chad GPT.
Oh, well, good luck with that, because ChatGPT a lot of times will give you player information from 2 or 3 years ago.
That's true.
And
That's true.
It'll put you in a bad spot.
Yeah.
I don't know why AI cannot get that correct when it comes to sports, but it might just be Vegas cooking everybody and making sure they can't lose, but.
Tom, Chad GPT this week selected NC State to beat Virginia. Do you love it or hate it?
I don't trust Dave Dorn at all. So good luck.
And as a matter of fact, Christy Mann messaged in about 40 minutes ago. She searched Chat GPT also and said Chat GPT picked Austin Peay over Vanderbilt, and that game's not even this weekend.
Well, see, that's Chat. We're using Chad. He's a real Come on, Christy. This is a different one. Tom, how confident or how confident are you in your pick?
Oh, I feel good.
Yeah.
I think it's the best bang for your buck here, because UNC's not beating TCU, and I don't trust Dave Dorn, and then the rest of them are too big of a spread. So
No love for old Bobby Petrino, Mr. Neck Brace himself.
I like Bobby. He's a great coach, but he can't help the fact that North Carolina team is absolutely going to be awful. So the offense will be fun to watch, but that team's not good.
And last question for you, Tom, before we let you go, because we love talking sports with you and always appreciate your phone calls. We did, in the second segment of the show, ESPN's Top 100. How do you feel that Lenora Sellers is not in ESPN's Top 100?
All that stuff is just bogus bullcrap. They don't know what they're talking about. I mean, we're talking about ESPN, okay? Let's be honest. ESPN is criticized because they don't know what they're doing. They spend too much time talking about the WNBA and too much time talking about politics. I'm not gonna get my underwear in a wad because they don't think one of the best quarterbacks in the country is not in the top 100. I don't pay attention to that. It's all rat poison.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Dylan Stewart being in the top 100 though?
Well, he is in the top 100.
Oh, so they got it right with Dylan Stewart. They're dead wrong with Lenoris.
You mean to tell me there's 99 or 100 players better than Lenore?
Hey,
Sellers?
I'll give you one better than that, Tom. Do you know who number 99 on the list is?
Who?
I went on a rant on this in the first hour of the show. Ryan Williams.
The guy who paints his fingernails? Nah, they can have that. Yeah, they can have that.
Tom, thanks for the call.
That's Caleb Williams.
He's an idiot, isn't he?
Caleb Williams.
So good.
God.
Yeah, he didn't even get his Go Gamecocks in
ESPN are idiots who don't know anything when they don't put Lenoris in, but they're real smart when they put Dylan Stewart in, who's injured, who might not play.
I do agree with Tom, though. Like, a lot of these people who write for ESPN, I just think this list is trash. Like, there's no way Ryan Williams is 99. It's just
it's ludicrous.
Come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and I know ESPN, like there's a hat for every head, right? I mean, some people do care a lot about WNBA, and you have a website, you can browse to any page you want to on there. But man, their over the air content is so heavily focused on WNBA because they're in the crucial point of that season. That's great, but It's football season now. Who cares about the back half of the WNBA season?
Who cares?
Tolos, get us your upset picks. We got a little lull on the text line right now, and there's JC getting his. And he goes Memphis plus 4.5 over UNLV. And
what's your name?
Texter says Ryan does paint his nails.
Wow, Ryan Williams.
So did I get it wrong there?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, you said somebody painting their nails. I thought you were talking about Caleb Williams.
Tom was talking about Ron. Well, I guess your last name Williams. You have to paint your nails.
Oh, automatic.
Let's go back to the phone lines.
What's Dale's last name? Williams?
No, I don't think Dale does. 844-326-3663. Dale, are you ready for the Upset Picks Challenge, pal?
Sure.
Do you know what's going on, Dale?
You don't sound like you're ready for it.
Of course I do. Well, the pick won't be made until probably Friday.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you're not ready. Got it.
Well, no, I'm ready to start getting it in there. I'm getting the body focused.
Yeah, ready, but you're not ready. Gotcha. You're in training.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay.
Correct. It's still preseason until, tomorrow evening?
Yeah.
Then the season really kicks off? Okay.
Furman football tomorrow night.
Hey, they're under the lights too, correct?
Yeah, night game.
Oh, there you go. Hey, there go Fermi. Have you seen what happened with ESPN's big heads in their draft?
No.
So their fantasy football draft took place. They have a 10-team league, and in that 10-team league, 13 running backs went in the first 2 rounds.
Okay.
13 running backs.
I've never
Did
played
I
fantasy
miss
football.
something?
You're going to have to explain why that's a big deal.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's PPR, and I'm just trying to figure out how 13 running backs went in the first 20 picks, the first 2 rounds.
What's your name?
I'm at a loss here, Dale.
Oh, my God. I couldn't believe it. And I'm sitting here worried about picking 5 and a running back being available when it's my turn.
Yeah.
Cole will have to educate you because, he dabbles in fantasy football, but he's not real good at it.
Cole's sandbagging. Cole just doesn't want to be the guy that runs roughshod over the league. We talk football every day.
Yep.
It's unfair for Cole to just walk away with this thing. So he's sandbags.
That's what it is. Anything else,
I'm
Dale?
going to tell you right now, if you saw him play last year, he wasn't running roughshod over anything.
All right, Dale, that's enough. That's enough. Thanks for the call.
Go Cowboys!
There you go. I like that. Texter, I believe this is Tom, maybe. He says or asks, is Dale Leprechaun's agent? No, different sounding voice for sure. It is not. The Leprechaun already called in today, Tom. If you missed it, you missed it. Right back to the phone lines. We're rolling. The Upset Picks Challenge, 844-326-3663. Time to get them in. We go back to the phone line. Stephen Webb wants to get in on the conversation. What do you say, Stephen?
Hey, guys. I just wanted to say, first of all, love the show, as always. Love
Appreciate
listening
you.
to
Thank you.
Spread all of the false propaganda when it comes to Burns football, because we all know come Friday night, Dorman's going to spank that.
Well, Stephen, don't be mad. Don't be mad that Dorman's football broadcasts are on a little small, tiny radio station, so you can take that up with somebody else.
Hey, I know. That's all fine and well. However, we actually played a full game the other night. We're not afraid
you
of
did. And what article?
So Burns is fresh. Dorman's going to be tired.
What Burns' call there, Stephen? Make sure you get your facts right.
You're right. But when it comes to the rivalry of 290, we all know who owns who, and we're gonna show them again on Friday.
Okay, so quick question on that, real quick. Do you have a second?
Yeah, I have a second.
All right, so you say we all know who owns who, right?
Yeah.
All right, so what's the overall record between the two schools in football?
Hold on. Let me ask ChatGPT because I don't know.
Oh, so you're saying that Dorman owns Burns, but you don't even know the record.
Well, let me say this. When my daughter played soccer there, we owned Burns for a long time.
Oh, here we go.
Football.
Who's won 3 of the last 4 in football?
Okay. Well, who has? I'm gonna back it up.
Back it up.
I'm just gonna say this Friday we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We're gonna leave it all on the field, and my Cavs. Hey, listen, I'm a Viking, so I'm a traitor already. So, but I support my kids, and
There you go.
so I'm pulling for the Cavaliers this weekend.
Well,
But
you should.
Guys, love the show, and as always, appreciate you guys, and I love the content.
Appreciate you
Thanks,
more, Steven. Appreciate you.
I thought Steven was going to like break out into a fight song or something. Sing the Dorman fight song.
No, he didn't know
over
the Dorman
these
fight
airways.
song. By the way, it's 36-31-1, by the way, Steven, just so you know. So
it'd take a minimum of 5 years.
Yeah.
Not until 2031 could Dorman even pull even.
Yeah, this is the 69th overall, or the 69th all-time meeting. So all kidding aside, it is going to be a tough task. Dorman's loaded this year. They're loaded. It's going to be tough to beat them. But
are you predicting packed house on Friday night?
No. Let me tell you why. Two things.
It's a huge stadium.
It's a huge stadium. Okay, three things. Number one, it's a huge stadium. Dorman never fills it up because it's so big. That's number one.
That's an architectural problem right there.
Number two, it's a TV game. The game's on TV, which I think, with all due respect to Dorman High School, because I have a lot of friends at Dorman, I think that's a dumb thing to do when you have a big game like Dorman Burns. Why put that game on TV? You're going to lose so much of your gate because that game's on TV. I think that's stupid. But that's just my opinion. I love my friends at Dorman. Number three, with all the rain and stuff, who knows? People are going to say, I hate to say this, but people are going to say, oh, just stay home and watch the game. Don't have to deal with the weather.
Yeah.
It's on TV. It's on My 40. So they're just going to stay home and watch it, which, again, don't put a game like Dorman Burns on TV. That game you want, if you want the money, Diesel, that should be a sold-out game.
Can I give you one of my biggest pet peeves with the way TV games are shot for television?
Yeah.
They always put the cameras on the big sideline. They point them at the scrawny sideline on the opposite side, the away side, and the stadium always looks itty-bitty. If you've got this, if you're Dorman and that stadium is lopsided, it's like they do bench press every single day, but they always skip leg day. Like there's nothing on the visitor side. It's massive on the home side. You got this beautiful press box, huge grandstand. Why wouldn't you want to show that on television? Why don't you move the cameras to the other side of the field? And that way, when you put it on TV, it looks like, holy crap, this place is enormous.
Too long in cable runs.
I mean,
you gotta run the cable.
Is it that hard?
You gotta run the cable.
Come on. All schools do this. They never show off the beautiful press box and the big home stands and all the best parts of the stadium.
Yeah.
Because they always put the cameras on the good looking side.
I will let the TV people know Friday. I'll say Diesel has a complaint. I'll let them know.
Yeah, tell them.
You're
is Jack still there at my 40? Tell him.
I don't know. I'll tell whoever's there. I'll tell them, hey, Diesel's got a complaint, and if y'all can run those cables over to the visiting side, he'd like it a lot more.
Just run right across the 50-yard line.
That's right. I again, no offense to TV. I love the TV crew. I love the TV broadcast crew. The Jason Patterson and Tom Van Hoy do a fantastic job, but I just think for the game like that, man, big Dorman Burns, you want the fans and the seats, the butts in the seats.
Yep.
So it's going to be fun. The weather, I don't know. I don't know what the weather is going to do. It's not looking great, I don't think. I mean, right now it don't look great outside, but we're still in this summertime pattern.
The winds are blowing.
It's dark. It's dark in our outside of our Ingles Market studios. And the last time I looked, I think it was like 70% chance. Let's see for Friday, 71% chance now. Mostly cloudy, storms during the evening. Might be another late night.
Moving them up. Why don't you move up the game to Thursday?
Well, Thursday,
no,
it's better. One team has Greer and Union County has moved to Thursday tomorrow. I believe that's the only local area team that's moved up. Other than that, everybody's holding. Maybe push to Saturday, Diesel. Maybe push to Saturday if it gets bad.
Tolos, we've got your picks in. Hurst going Sacramento State over Eastern Michigan for 10 points. JC's going Memphis plus 4.5 over UNLV. Tom in Somerville, we got you. Blake Hammett, we got you. Tiger Pal Rachel, got you. Hard Knocks got you as well. You know who we got coming up next, Cole?
We've got Bill Bender, the Sporting News. We love Bill. National college football writer. There's nobody as plugged in as Bill, and we're joined by Bill next right here on the Fan Upstate.
The Wire with Cole, Bryson, and Diesel on the Fan Upstate.
Well, it's time to talk college football. Bill Bender, the Sporting News. He's the best. We love talking to Bill on Wednesdays at 5:22. Make sure you mark it down, put it on your calendar every Wednesday during football season. Bill, gracious enough to make time for Diesel and I. Bill, always appreciate you, man. Have you decided to go back and play college football yet from your professional career, Bill?
Yeah, I don't know. My receptions total back at Fisher Catholic High School in, 1997. I don't know how well that holds up 30 years later. I always tell people, though, the reception total, it's funny. I haven't played college or high school football in 30 years, but my reception total keeps going up each year. It's amazing.
Bill, we were talking about this earlier, pondering what it must be like inside of the administration buildings at LSU when just yesterday it seemed as if the administration and the athletic department was on Lane Kiffin's side. Then they voted against him. This has got to be awkward walking through those halls, no?
Well, it's being reported that they abstained too. So I'm careful to choose. Is this going to become a fight, with trying to get players eligible? I'm hoping we put this behind us in the next 48 hours. With the Big Ten coming out in a statement, SEC coming out with a statement. One of the most bizarre headlines, that I've ever seen was Cleveland Browns tight end entering the transfer portal, something like that. It's a wild world we live in. It's interesting if they go that way and it becomes a standoff between Lane Kiffin and Greg Spanky. I can tell you who's going to win, but it would create more awkwardness for sure.
Well, don't forget, Bill, the Sun Belt made their statement too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, here's where the fumble happened, in my opinion. 5 for 5 was put through on June 23rd. Okay. I think college football and NFL missed an opportunity, even if it was like a 2 or 3 week window, and said, hey, listen, we're putting this new law in, or a rule. If you're an NFL player who's on a preseason roster and you want to come back to college, this is your 10-day window to do it. We get it. It's expedited. And I don't know that too many people would have went anyway, and I would have done it before training camp. And then there would have been less confusion, less headlines, less of this, because I don't know how much preseason football you guys watch. I've watched quite a bit. It's on the TV. I'm not like intently watching it at all times, but definitely keep an eye on it. Then there would have been less confusion, less reaction the way it was.
So, Bill, a few minutes ago, you said hopefully in the next 48 hours we can put this all behind us. What does that look like? How does that happen?
Well, I think, the season starts and we have guys, because in the future, 5 for 5 will work. It's a full season. I think, you have players that are playing as fourth-year players this year that want that fifth year. We'll get it. I don't think, I think the rule, while instituted at a clunky time, is going to work. And one of the things I was talking about in one of my meetings today is it's going to be applied differently across different sports. Football is just so unique compared to, baseball or lacrosse or track, those kind of sports where, a fifth-year player or, fifth-year baseball player, for example, might be a little bit different than what we're dealing with in football because of the heavy numbers in the transfer portal, because of the NIL numbers. It's just different in football than any other sport.
Talking to Bill Bender of the Sporting News. Fantastic guest. We love having him on every single week. Bill, 15 years ago, neutral site games were all the rage. Everybody thought, hey, this was this novel new idea. We're going to play in NFL stadiums. And then people eventually got tired of them. They said, they feel kind of stale. The environment's not there. So then there was a push to go back to getting home and home games on campus. Now they're going back to neutral site games because of the new scheduling rules within these conferences. Do you suspect, or do you hope that someday a preference for home and home games will swing back around one day?
It will, but I still like the Chick-fil-A kickoff game in Atlanta. I've been to that a few times, depending on who's playing. And I went to Florida State, Alabama years ago. That was an awesome atmosphere. The Dublin game is its own different kind of weight class. And one of the things looking at that game on Saturday. I do think it's a little bit of a neat tradition, a bizarre one to start the season over in Dublin. But, you get TCU, North Carolina. I put the stat out there. 5 of the last 6 Dublin games have been 3-point games. So you have this, it's been close games. There's been unexpected results. Remember Georgia Tech, Florida State a couple years ago. So I think I'm looking forward to it.
Bill, it's interesting when you look at this college football season, so many different storylines, especially with certain players. Earlier in the show, Diesel and I looked at ESPN's top 100. Lenora Sellers being in South Carolina, the state that we're in, obviously a big talking point, not being in the ESPN top 100 at all. I had a problem with Ryan Williams of Alabama being 99 on the list. Do you put much stock into these lists? I mean, we've dove into it as much as we can. How is Ryan Williams 99 on this list, Bill?
Well, I didn't make it. I mean,
Right.
So,
right, but who are the clowns? I mean, how does this happen? Do you not know? Or you answer this. Is 99 a good spot for Ryan Williams?
Hard to say. I'll have to check the list out. Where did you say Lenoris was?
Not on the list. What are your thoughts on that?
That's probably more of a reaction to that. I mean, you're talking about a quarterback that if protected well. I'm not just talking about Lenoris, the college player. I think his NFL upside is really high. It's a huge year for him. I would argue he's one of the quarterbacks along with Bryce Underwood. There's a lot on the spot this year. Sellers even more so because he's a draft eligible player.
Sure.
So yeah, I would put him on the top 100. I think he made our top 50 NFL big board last year, going into 2027. I'm not quite sure where I put him. I'm pretty sure he's on the list, though.
Bill, is Kendall Briles the life raft that Shane Beamer so desperately needs? Is it going to work out long term? Could you see this as one of those relationships that we saw play out here in our neck of the woods at Clemson, where Dabo Swinney was able to hang on to quality coordinators for a long time?
Yeah, we'll see. Kendall's been at some other places, obviously. And it is an interesting year for Shane Beamer just because when you start talking about hot seat coaches and that the term hot seat is so relative to me these days because the leashes are shorter. Last year, we weren't saying this time last year, we weren't saying, hey, James Franklin's really on the hot seat. I think there was pressure, but to say that he was going to get fired in a 2-week stretch, remember, there was a 5-week stretch last year where coaches got fired. I think there's some level of pressure on Shane Beamer. I don't know what it means in terms of the hot seat. I think one of the adjustments programs like South Carolina are making, like Kentucky, like even Auburn, is the SEC is a big conference. In the past, South Carolina going into the year with Lenore Sellers on one side, Dylan Stewart on the other, the pieces they have around them, that would have been enough to finish second or third in the SEC East. But those days are gone.
Yeah, you're right. Talking to Bill Bender, the Sporting News, talking college football. You mentioned Kendall Briles there. For any Gamecock fans in the upstate, Bill, that aren't really familiar with Kendall, that may be watching his offense this fall for the first time, from what you've seen and what you know about this roster with Lenore Sellers and Nick Harbor and a couple other guys, what do you expect? I mean, what does a Kendall Briles offense in the SEC at South Carolina look like in your mind?
I mean, they'll go fast. They will. I mean, Baylor heyday is certainly a thing. Up-tempo running game, quick reads. Lenoris will be able to make plays in that. Harbor, I totally forgot about him. There's another just super player, super high upside player in this offense that they'll take deep shots. I mean, in Baylor, they had, trying to think if he was still the coordinator then. I'm pretty sure he was. They had guys like Corey Coleman, who was an All-American type player getting down the field in that offense. So, yeah, high efficiency from the quarterback. It's an interesting look. And like I said, Kendall's been around a little bit, so we'll see what he adds to the offense.
Bill, we've been watching or reading some of the practice reports coming out of Clemson, and that this past week has not been particularly great for Christopher Vizina, and that maybe the race for QB1 against LSU is tightening back up just a little bit. From what you know about Dabo Swinney, if things are not going well, if he starts Christopher Vizina and things are not going well, I'm going to give you multiple choice. Does Dabo want to make the change, but his sense of loyalty won't let him? He needs to change and will do it at some point during the game, or won't need to change quarterbacks at all?
Oh, if he needs to change, he'll do it. I mean, I watched him do it with Kelly Bryant, right? In a huge game against Syracuse? They made that switch years ago. I mean, it's been a while, but yeah, I think it's a huge game for both teams. It's not just for Clemson, for LSU as well. And obviously, we just talked about LSU being in the news constantly, but that's the game. Saturday's not a great schedule. I'm not saying it like I'm not excited about it, because it's still college football. It's going to be awesome having it on all day. But in terms of like actual, holy cow, I can't miss this.
Yeah.
LSU Clemson's the only game on Saturday that qualifies. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think there's going to be a huge overreaction, more so to the loser. But for Dabo, I mean, think about it. Nobody's really presenting it this way. What if Dabo goes down there and wins? You know, Clemson, they'll shoot up in the AP poll. They'll be probably considered an ACC favorite and all of those things just simply by going down to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge and pulling out a victory.
Yeah, could be. You mentioned the firing process that was, 5 weeks in a row last year, Bill. I want you to look into your crystal ball, Bill Bender. Who is the first to go in 2026? We're talking mid-season coach firing. Who would you predict to be near the front of the list?
I mean, Bill Belichick, it's a big week. And if you look at North Carolina's schedule, they play Clemson, they play Notre Dame, they play Pitt, at Duke. I was asked this question earlier today. What about, will he still be there on November 1st? Well, on Halloween, they play Miami in Chapel Hill. So, I mean, I'm struggling to find wins that we know. We don't have to review all the bad press over the summer. Big couple stretch for Bill Belichick. So he'd probably be the easy choice. I think, you get into like Mike Norvell and Dave Aranda, a couple others, Mike Loxley at Maryland. But again, those guys are all like, Mike Norvell has a huge buyout at Florida State. He's been on the hot seat, it seems like 2 years, and that buyout's a huge thing.
At Bill Bender 92 is where you can follow Bill on Twitter. Bill, as far as you know right now, as we're still a couple days out or a week out more for some of these programs, is there a major program that has a major problem as far as you're concerned? A big school that has aspirations that as of right now has no kicker, or a team that might have just announced a liability as a starter?
No, I mean, that top seven's pretty solid. We've talked about LSU. Really interested to see Alabama with Keelan Russell. I mean, the headlines around Texas this week haven't been great, but that roster, holy cow. I mean, Arch, Rasheem Biles, Cam Coleman, Colin Simmons, those guys are all in our top 50. It's timely in some ways, because I watched that Vince Young documentary last night on Netflix. It was excellent. Kind of like a two separate stories in one. But I think they have the most pressure on them of that top seven, with Sark, with the roster, with the Arch factor, and they play Ohio State early in week 2. And this Ohio State team is formidable. They're going to be very good. So if they lose that game, all those headlines get recirculated. And so I would say they're the one, not a particular position as a liability, but just the pressure aspect to me. At least to me, I think it's greater for them than anybody else in that top 7, except maybe Notre Dame. But I feel like we know what we're getting with Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to be very good.
Bill, you are very good as always. We appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
No, we need his pick. We need your pick.
Your upset pick. Quickly.
I'm going to go NC State, right? NC State over Virginia.
Let's go.
I like Bailey. That's a quick one. Let's get off to a good start.
Appreciate you. We kept it as close as we could to our 15 minutes with you, Bill.
Thanks,
and we will talk to you next week, pal.
Hey, anytime. Thank you so much for having me. Take care.
Bill
Great
Bender,
stuff.
the Sporting News. Fantastic stuff. Who'd he go with, the NC State?
NC State over Virginia. That spread, let me find it here, because I was scrolled down to the bottom of the page.
7?
That one is Virginia -4. So
Oh.
NC State +4.
I was way off on that.
NC State +4 over Virginia.
That spread's interesting, though, I'll tell you.
I'm surprised that a lot more people haven't selected it.
Well, I'm looking at it. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at it. I mean, the 4-point spread tells you that, okay, that Vegas thinks that this is pretty close to a coin flip game, 4.5, whatever it is. I'm looking at it. I really am. And Virginia's got big shoes to fill off of what they did last year, Diesel, in that big season they had. But I don't know. I to Tom and Somerville's point earlier, I don't trust Dave Doran either. But I think he's got a good quarterback, and I think that they're going to be able to compete and hold their own in that game. So if he can give them a chance late, that's not a bad pick. I like the 4.5. I also like the 7. I don't know if I'm going to go with it. I like that Jacksonville State, North Dakota State, 7 points. I'd love to start off with 7 points.
I think we need to have an annual Jacksonville State versus Sacramento State Bowl so we could have the Jack State, Sac State Bowl.
We'll put that on the email
we'll
list.
call somebody over to ESPN. Hey, our people will call your people.
I'm sure they'll be
we'll
up
get
for
it figured out. But Bill's point about documentaries there, Cole, I am excited about the Firefest style docs we're going to get about the summer of 2026 at LSU one day, because you're telling me that an administrator over there at LSU is not going to have a wildly different story than Lane Kiffin and his folks would have about what happened. It would be great.
It'll be good ones. That's for sure. That's for sure. Always thanks to Bill Bender, by the way.
When we come back, Cole, let's run through the 10 biggest storylines entering the 2026 college football season. What intrigues you, me, and the Tolos the most? That's next.
Fan Upstate.
What's up, Joe DePisqua? Got his pick in for the Upset Picks Challenge. He's going North Carolina plus 9.5 versus TCU. Just make sure, Joe, when you send it in, give us the whole game, not just the underdog. But he says UNC plus 9.5 against TCU. Bill Bender, like you just heard, he's going North Carolina State plus 4 over Virginia. Joe D. So we have a Joe D and a Joe DePisqua, two different guys.
Love it.
Which is why it's important, Tolos, reminding you to send in your name, your pick every week with the exact same name, spelled the same way, capitalized the same way, because it's a big time challenge, man. We got hundreds of people who play this thing every year, and it's very easy to get confused.
Yeah, and I want to say one more time, I know there's a lot of people who listen to this show who never text in because I hear from them throughout my week, every week. People say, oh, I listened to, they don't ever text it. For those that have never got in on this challenge, you got to get in this year for the first time. It's very simple. If you're listening right now and you have never entered the Upset Picks Challenge, do us a favor. Let's see if we can break the record from last year. Help us out. Participate. Diesel said it's fun. You have to keep up every week, and it's just a challenge. It's just that, and it's really, really hard. It's not easy. So 844-326-3663. Don't be lame and not play.
Well, the best part about this challenge is, Cole, you can jump in literally at any time and still move up the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had people jump in week 5, 6, 7, 8 in some years and shoot straight to the top because they've been really good at picking up sets. And, we want you to be a part of this challenge every single week, all season long. And this is my call to have you set a reminder in your phone for Wednesdays at 4:00 to get us your upset pick. Because that's when it opens, Wednesdays at 4.
Do you have yours?
I've
got a few leans.
I'll go ahead and
whoa. You're gonna go ahead and let the cat out of the bag?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I'm gonna take.
You don't sound real confident in this.
I'm gonna take Cole. Oof.
You don't have to.
I'm not super confident.
Let's wait a little bit.
Okay.
Let's wait.
Okay, fine. I'll wait.
You just wait. Don't push.
No, I'm ready.
You're ready. All right, here we go.
I am going to take the Jacksonville State Gamecocks.
Yeah.
Over the North Dakota State Bison. I don't think North Dakota State is just going to roll into this house and win in game number 1. I mean, they had to add a whole bunch of scholarship guys. They had to get ready. They had to start building a roster in a different way than they ever have before. They got to start paying guys. Ooh, that's new. That's an interesting wrinkle for them. So I'm going to say Jacksonville State gets it done here in week. I'm going with the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State. I will probably not be going with the Gamecocks of South Carolina very often, but Jack State plus 7 over North Dakota State.
I'm just what is your deal? You Gamecock hater is what you are. I'm going to turn the page over to you now, being called the Gamecock hater. Not going with Carolina during the season. They'll be underdogs a lot. They'll be underdogs a lot in the SEC.
But it's also the SEC.
Not in the first 2 weeks though, against Kent State and ooh, I wonder what what will those spreads be?
I think they'll be. Well, there's got to be a Kent State spread already.
I'm looking now to see what that is.
Kent State spread
36 points.
No, I wouldn't be taking that one.
You don't think the Flashers are going to upset the game? Hey, here's the even better question. Will Carolina cover 36 points?
Will they score 36 points?
They better.
Kendall
Briles better score 36 against Kent State. Are you kidding me?
Cole, we already talked about some of the biggest storylines going into the year for 2026 with Bill Bender in the last segment, so we don't need to attack all of those here. But just want to remind you, there are some coaching changes, or not coaching changes, but some rule changes this year. You know how if you get a penalty for targeting in the second half, it carries over to the next game. That's not going to be the case anymore. They are going to eliminate the carryover. So you won't miss the first half of the next game if you get a penalty in the second half of the previous game. That's an experimental rule change. It is not set in stone yet. no one has legally challenged it yet. No injunctions. So
I'll give a golf clap for that
I
one.
like that one.
Yep. I'll give a golf clap for that one. I
Yep.
like it.
Get used to corporate logos on the field. That's going to be even more prevalent than it
Yeah.
has been in the past. Jersey patches with advertising logos on there.
Carolina has the logo on the field now, don't they? With the Blanchard.
Is it still
machine?
Blanchard cap?
I think. I
Okay.
think so. I think.
And here's a punt rule change, Cole. This is an odd one here. And it feels like something that the referees wanted to do just to make their lives easier. But teams who line up to punt will now have to have at least 5 players wearing numbers 59 through 79.
Wow.
That way, teams can't pull a switcheroo and a weird thing on who's eligible, who's actually a receiver versus a lineman wearing a lineman's number, because that was a problem. Guys were switching jerseys on the sidelines to throw off and be deceptive in punt plays. You can't do that anymore.
How about it? Tolo's hour number 4 coming up in the very next segment. We've got upset picks. We've got an audio blitz. We've got the man himself, head coach Clay Hendricks. Turn it on, leave it on. Stay tuned. Hour 4 next.
Diesel and Cole Bryson.
On the Fan Upstate.
This one in the air to right center. Harris is there. Braves win. Just your regular Tuesday night game here at Truist. And what an unbelievable job here by Rice.
The Braves win. You heard it here again, Diesel.
Harris is there. Braves win.
Raciel Iglesias stones, and I mean absolute stones last night for the Atlanta Braves. It was a 3-3 ball game. Ozzie Albies gives him the go-ahead to send Matt Olson home. And then, in the ninth inning, Shohei Ohtani puts one up against the wall, goes to third base, and we're sitting here as Braves fans thinking, oh, my God, here we go. Shohei Ohtani's on third with no outs. You're playing the LA Dodgers, and I want you to answer this. You're playing the LA Dodgers, and they're down one run, and they have Shohei on third in the heart of their lineup coming up. You're not winning that game many times.
No.
Like, it just ain't happening.
You know what's funny is the big bats for the Dodgers really didn't show up throughout the majority of that game.
Freeman was 0 for, 5,
Yeah.
I think?
It was the later in the lineup hitters who were putting the ball into play.
Braves pitchers last night, man, you got to give them a lot of credit. You got to give them credit last night.
There were Braves fans apparently cheering for Freddie Freeman last night.
What losers they are. God.
Cut that out. He is on the opposing team, and you got to get through them to win the World Series. What are we doing?
I like, though, when he struck out on that last at-bat last night, there were a lot of cheers. I mean, there were a lot of cheers. Let's see. Freddie Freeman last night was 0 for 5.
Yeah.
I love to see it. The Braves totaled, by the way, 9 hits last night. Bryce Elder, not the best night. He gave up 8 hits, 3 runs. But you know what? The bullpen, Dylan Lee, Maderos, Dodd, Iglesias, like the bullpen was unbelievable last night. The bullpen for the Braves won that game. Ozzie Albies a big part. And Raciel Iglesias last night, man, just a phenomenal performance. That was an electric win. That game last night, watching that, it felt like October baseball. It just did. And I know the Braves are in a slump right now, but
yeah,
Diesel, you needed that one, man. You needed that one.
Well, this is breaking news. Pete Thamel says Big 12 athletic directors have agreed to ban professionals from returning to Big 12 schools in all sports. The ACC, the only Power 4 conference that hasn't jumped in on that.
Where you at, Jim?
But yeah, 4th place as usual with the ACC. Cole, isn't it interesting? Now I know that there's no real correlation between the two, but I like to think that there is. As soon as the Braves started slumping a couple weeks ago, the Phillies got red hot. They won 9 in a row, and then all it took was Cal Raleigh and his glorious gluteus going on 3 home run night, popping the Phillies bubble a couple of nights ago. Now the Phillies have lost back-to-back games, and the Braves just beat the Dodgers to start that series.
Let's go. I'm
back-to-back for the Braves.
Whatever it takes. By the way, the Braves have now won 3 games against the Dodgers this year, and they've only lost 1. 3-1 against the Dodgers this year. Pretty good. We'll take it.
How do you have a team's number like that? How is your pitching
I
staff
think
able to hold
I'm right
down?
on that. I think they've only played twice, 2 series this year. So if I'm wrong on that, I apologize.
Won the first series, yeah.
They won the first series 2-1. So, man, what a big win. What a big win for the freaking Braves. I was fired up last night watching that, man. I was excited. Called a couple buddies of mine. I was just fired up after the Braves won last night. Let's see if they can do it again tonight. We'll see. It is A.J. Smith-Shawver, I believe, on the mound tonight for the Bravos. Yeah, it is, versus Sasaki of L.A. Let's see if we can win the series again. So that audio cool there.
We need the bats tonight. Shawver's ERA is up there.
Yeah, we gotta hit the ball. Let's get it going early. Jump on them. Let's see. Where do we go next? Diesel with a little audio blitz. By the way, we have Clay Hendricks, the head football coach of the Furman Paladins, joining us in 15 minutes. He's probably walking off the practice field right now as we speak.
Hopefully he's got a smile on his face. You know, coaches a lot of times have more question marks in their minds than they have touchdown plays and visions.
Well, let's go to
First Take earlier in the week. Adam Schefter, this news with college, pro, playing both. Where does Schefter stand?
Well, we had Pete Thamel on Get Up this morning, and apparently there's a judge in Colorado that's going to issue a further ruling today, and I think there's a lot that's up in the air. What I do know from the NFL standpoint is that on Sunday, August 30th, that is the final NFL cutdown day, there are 32 NFL teams that essentially will be releasing 37 players each. That's 1,184 players. I don't know how many of those 1,184 players have used up all 5 years of their college eligibility, but I would venture to say probably not a lot. So you're talking about the prospect of multiple players who don't make it on the NFL rosters, then having the option, potentially, of going back to play in college football. And then there'll be cases where even a player who has the chance to join a NFL practice squad or even an active roster at the veteran minimum might opt to go back to college football. So college football programs now, as Pete Thamel alluded to, are actually looking at NFL teams and studying preseason tape to figure out how they might round out their roster. And if they're bringing in NFL players on September 1st, then that means they're cutting some players from their college programs. And we are living in an unprecedented Wild West world where it's gotten crazier and crazier. And this may be the single craziest moment that we've seen yet.
You know, this was a few days ago, and things have changed since then, obviously. Yeah. But I just think, does Adam Schefter have the best voice? I love Adam Schefter's voice and delivery. He's so fiery. He's so fiery. I could listen. If he could narrate a book for me, I'd get a lot more reading done.
Everybody Poops, narrated by Adam Schefter.
I love it. This old man keeps calling back in. This is the same guy that's called in like 9 times and has asked if we're calling it. I'm going to get it real quick.
Just so you know, the minimum salary for a rookie on an NFL practice squad is $13,750 per week. They get paid weekly. That's really interesting. The way they do that. So if a player were to stay on the practice squad all season, Cole, now this is the absolute minimum you could make as a rookie on the practice squad, $247,500. So, you know, you've got Daquan Wright making a decision potentially between $247,500 and whatever he could make at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
That's where these players are making their decisions.
It is.
And I am glad, because yesterday I was really harsh on Greg Sankey. I called him a coward. I said, hey, you want to style yourself as a leader of the sport, then damn it, step up and be a leader of the sport.
He heard you.
He heard me, I guess.
He was listening.
He decided that, and the SEC decided, and the chancellors and the athletic directors all decided, no, we're going to ban this. And so now, you know, Cole, this is going to get opened up to further litigation, further lawsuits. And the SEC will now have to fight this fight instead of letting the NCAA do it.
What does Steve Sarkisian, he's the head football coach of the Texas Longhorns, what does he have to say about all of this? Well, here's Steve.
We are like changing every day right now. It feels like almost every 3 hours, you know, there's a new message from Commissioner Sankey about something, or something that somebody's reporting in the media that this is what might occur or what's occurring. I think it's important for us here, especially, like, we have a really good team, and focusing on our team to me is paramount and the most important thing right now. Anything auxiliary outside of that, I'm not in so much of a rush to say, oh, let's go do that now, or let's go do that now. Like, I like our team. If and or when, if there's something that popped up to where we could upgrade it, great. But we don't even know. Like, today you can take them, tomorrow you can't. I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't even know if it's good or not. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if it's good, because, like, for us, I know we've got a locker room full of guys who have been working together, and their connectivity is so good for the last 8 months. Is it worth rocking that boat, you know, by bringing somebody in that isn't familiar with your program? Cole was a little different. He'd been with our program for 4 years.
Cole.
He knows
who
we are. He knows Coach Flood. He knows those guys in that room. To bring in a true outsider and to think like all of a sudden he's going to be our quarterback, like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I wouldn't know how to do that. And I get every situation is a little bit different. And maybe there's better coaches out there than us, you know, but I just think it's a delicate situation. The powers that be are ultimately going to get to a final decision. And then when the final decision's made, then we're going to have choices to make, or maybe we will have no choices to make. I don't know. We'll have to find out. We are like,
I think Sark came at this from a really good perspective. And it was long audio there. But I just like the transparency from Steve Sarkisian of, hey, I don't really know what this means. We really don't know what this means. It's changing every 3 hours. We're getting new emails from our commissioner, Diesel, every 3 hours. I love the openness and the honesty from Steve Sarkisian, just basically saying, look, I don't know. We have a group of guys who have been in there working their tails off. He said, rock the boat. Do we want to bring somebody in, try to add to or take away from that chemistry? I think it's a valid point. I really do. I just think there's a lot of risk in this.
I mean, you're now telling every single player that they are replaceable if a better guy who already had his time, who already left the sport, who already went off to the NFL, who already participated in training camps and potentially preseason games. We'll just replace you with that guy. See, we talked earlier about the awkwardness between the administration, the athletic department there, and Lane Kiffin. And Lane Kiffin went back at them as well. But what about the tight end who's going to lose his roster spot because they were going to bring Daquan Wright onto the team? So that guy's gone. What are they going to do? Do they still have to pay his NIL? Do they have to pay him for a rev share? Yeah. If Daquan Wright puts them over the scholarship limit, do they bust somebody back down to a walk-on status? Do they bust Daquan Wright to walk-on status? I mean, there's so many questions here, and I wonder if that erodes the locker room in any way.
It's interesting. There's a risk. That's what I'll say. There's a risk. And yes, it could. Could it not? Could it work? It could, depending on who it is. You know what I mean? Depending on the situation. But I think with anything, there's a huge risk. I think there is, and Sark recognizes that.
Yeah, and Lane's idea, his justification was, well, if I don't use him, then somebody else will. I mean, if you think he's your second or third place guy on your team, if you're not bringing him in to be a starter, what's the point?
Yeah.
Are we really going to rock the boat like this for a backup?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
Crazy.
Let's go to the phone lines. Tony in Gaffney wants to weigh in. What's up?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Tony.
Good, brother.
My brethren. Listen, you mentioned why pay a second or third stringer X amount of dollars, but in all reality, he's one play away from being the starter. So you've got to think almost like a general manager of an NFL team. Almost the athletic directors making these decisions, the head coach. But you got to plan for your team to be deep, not only on the surface with
what's your name?
Starters and focusing on them. Yeah, they're going to get the most money, but injuries happen every single year, multiple injuries at some positions. And so I get that. But the topic, there's two things I want to talk about. Number one, does the government have to step in and regulate everything? Does the SEC not have enough sense with Commissioner Sankey and his surrounding cast to put some limits, restrictions, however you want to word it?
The problem is, though, Tony, TA, that the state, the bad part is the state has precedent over the conferences.
Okay, that's a great point.
And where this ultimately all is going is the NCAA doesn't have any actual legal power to enforce anything anymore. Everything has been shot down. Every rule, every tradition, everything the NCAA has ever done that we've all held to be the pillars of the sport are now up for litigation. And they don't have the legal standing to defend themselves anymore. And that's what they are hoping to achieve with this Protect College Sports Act.
Right, because there's no legal precedent because we're in territory that's never been water that's never been charted or swam in before. Yeah. So is it a mess? Absolutely, it's a mess. But dude, you have to plan for your teams to be deep. All about, even SEC talking about creating their own league, if you will. and just playing each other. And I don't know what that would accomplish. I'm not a fan of that notion, but what I really missed you guys on yesterday, and I hate to switch gears, but was Shane Beamer and whether he's on the hot seat or not. And I think you guys were cooling his seat off a little bit when as a fan, I think his seat is boiling hot because, I mean, you got to win, and I don't see him. I mean, you got to win 9-10 games here.
Whoa. God. Well, if he's got to win 9 or 10 games, you can go ahead and forget it. He's done.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And you're right. There's no 9 or 10 wins on the schedule for him. So are we going, South Carolina, we going to accept mediocrity forever when Shane Beamer is a wonderful human being, articulates his words very well? It seems to be a great recruiter, but to me, has mismanaged time on the clock, has left timeouts out there that when he should have called them at the end of games and half times when points could have been scored. And I'm just not sure if he's the guy.
Well, the biggest knock on him, TA, the biggest knock on him is up until this year, he hadn't had a good staff around him. And that's his fault.
That's 100% his fault. Because if you're, again, man, I just wish Steve Spurrier would have hung in there. I know it's a hard league, and he played in it with Florida when things were the way they were. It was very successful, won a natty. But I just think you need a little bit more of a veteran. I like Beamer's attitude. Again, he's articulate, seems to recruit well, but it's just not equating to wins. It's a very tough conference. And finally, there are so many wonderful coaches out there that would love to be a head coach in the SEC. So
you're right.
I'm going to back it down a little bit and say, if Carolina don't win 8 games, I'm done with it.
Well, you can have Dow Loggins back if you want.
How about that? TA says if they don't win 9. Real quick before we run to a break, next up, Bama Springer. What's up, Bama Springer?
Hey, Cole, look, I got 3 quick points, and I want to ask you and Diesel a question. Do you think Nick Saban did not see this coming, and that's why he got out, is my first point.
100%. Yes.
Second, 100%. This is a mess, okay? It almost makes me, what y'all touched on earlier this week, I watch college football, and I'm all, but, good God. Second point is, look, if Mark Hendricks ever freaking damn retires, either you or Diesel need to take his place, okay? And keep that place going like it needs to go, okay?
Okay.
That's a heck of an upgrade.
You can tell him I said that personally. You can look him in the eye and say, hey, Springer called the show and said, hey, if you retire, he wants you or me or Cole to replace you, okay?
I'll tell him.
Right? All right, third point. Cole, your outdoor show, hey, dude, you're doing a great job. The fish are biting and the deer on their feet, okay?
Let's go.
You guys have a great day. College football season to start. I will be watching, but if the yard needs mowing, if Alabama ain't playing, I'll probably cut the grass.
I love it.
Okay?
Thanks, Bama Springer.
Great
Great to
call.
hear from you as always.
Great call.
Do you want Mark's job?
No. I don't have time in the day. So you can have it. You can have it. I don't have the time of the day.
Busy guy. Speaking of busy, he's installing last minute changes, last minute concepts. I'm sure Clay Hendricks, the head football coach of the Furman Paladins, going to join us next.
Wire to Wire with Cole, Bryson, and Diesel on the Fan Upstate.
Well, in that promo, you heard Cole talking about a rivalry renewed. We might have a rivalry brewing, kindled between our Furman Paladins. That would be the Fan Upstate's Furman Paladins, because we are your play-by-play home for Furman. And Anderson University, they are facing off tomorrow night at this time. They'll be out there doing pregame warm-ups, and we're excited to bring on Clay Hendricks, the head football coach of the Furman Paladins, for his 10th season at the helm. Coach, how does that sound? How does that ring in your ears? 10 seasons at Furman.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little hard to believe sometimes, it seems like I just left in 2007 when I left Furman to go to the Air Force Academy. I was there for 10 years, and then to be back, I think 20 years now have almost passed. That's kind of hard to believe.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking time each week to join us on Wire to Wire right here on the Fan Upstate. Excited for tomorrow night. And I'm sure it's something, a game you're excited for as well, the first ever meeting. And, hey, a good relationship between you and Coach Lamb. We all know in the Upstate about Coach Bobby Lamb and what he's done for college football and his impact on the game. What's it like going against someone that you know and have known, and your relationship with Coach?
Well, when I came back and, we worked, obviously we've known each other since we were 7 years old and grew up in the same town, grew up across the street from each other. And so we played either on or coached on the same side for a bunch of football games. And I know when I came back in 2017, he was at Mercer, and we played them the first 3 years. And that was kind of odd. It really was. And now you look here, and here we are, in 2026, and we're playing again. And so I obviously have great respect for him. His family, his dad was my high school football coach, just all those things. And he did an unbelievable job here. We played here together, and, he's one of the all-time greats at Furman when you really think about it. Player of the year as quarterback, and the team played for the national championship. And then, was the head coach here for, I think, maybe 9 seasons. And I was here with him for, I think, 5 of them. And he coached a couple of the best teams to ever be here, so member of the Furman Hall of Fame. So I think it's great getting him back. And, this game happened pretty quick. When the NCAA told us we could play 12 games, our schedule was set. So then we only had a couple of slots to work with. And it just so worked out we could get them out here in week 0. And I think it's great for the Upstate and proximity. I think we'll have a great crowd. And, he's done a terrific job in a short period of time. He's built now a couple of programs, so he knows how to do that. And, kudos for Anderson, how they went about building that program. They've done it the right way and invested, and it's pretty easy to see how invested they are really in having a successful football program.
Coach, Cole and I were talking about preparation for week 1 games about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, especially, when there's a discrepancy between the history, the finances, et cetera, between the two programs. I know most coaches will tell you the prep isn't different. You want to prepare the same way every single game, no matter who the opponent is. But how are your expectations and your evaluation different when you face a program that's maybe not necessarily on the same level, like I said, with history and finances, et cetera, as you are?
Well, you probably ask Tennessee, because we'll be roles way reversed next week, But I don't know. I really don't think you do anything different. I mean, I think each team's a little different. I don't think they could report as quickly as we did. I think D2 has certain rules about that. I don't know. I think there's something not all bad about that. We changed a lot of things this year in our prep, just trying to, be a little fresher. And, we're as healthy as we've been, I think, at the end of August. I think when you play football, I think just surviving August as a player is an accomplishment. So, we've gotten through that. The prep has been the same. First game, there's so many unknowns. You're watching, they're no different than a lot of people. They've been hurt by the portal stuff. So, they've changed some stuff. I'm sure we've changed some stuff. So I think it's typical first games. You have to get there and make some adjustments, as you go. But I think we've done a good job offensively and defensively. I think we throw a lot at each other. So I don't know. I just told our team today, I hope they take great pride in knowing they're really well prepared. Now we just got to go play.
We're talking to Clay Hendricks. He's the head football coach, the Furman Paladins, in his 10th season as the Paladins open up the 2026 campaign tomorrow night at home against the Anderson Trojans. Coach, talk to us a little bit about your quarterback, Jake Garcia, 6'2", 210 pounds. And I find it interesting because he came late spring, early summer, hadn't been here long, but won the starting job. What was it about Jake that was so impressive enough for him to be able to win that starting job as he did?
Well, I think the best thing, we had great competition in that room. We had two new guys. Connor Ackley actually was here in January. Garcia is a guy that's now been in our program 4 years, and then Trey Smith, a really highly recruited, freshman for us. So I just really pleased that room. One of the goals was changing the skill set. We had become more mobile at that position, and I think Jake. I think the greatest thing about Jake is just kind of the way he came in and worked. And I think now he's practiced. I think today, if you kind of walk through, today was our 25th practice, which is kind of what you're allowed to do. And I think just watching his progress in those 25 days, and the hope is he only gets better. The more he's with us in our system, all that. But, a really humble guy who's been at some really good places. He's played, over 600 snaps of college football, so it's not like he's a guy that's been sitting somewhere. And he's been in some really good programs. And, quarterback's a tough position. Usually one guy only plays. But just how he's handled it and the way he came in, I can't say enough about him. And, he's the kind of guy you want to pull for. You want him to play well. If he plays well, that'll help us, but you kind of want that for him too.
I mean, obviously he's a big kid, Coach, 6'2", 210. What was it? What would you say when you're evaluating him and that he brought with him from Michigan and the other places that he has been that put him ahead of Connor Ackerley or Noel Garcia?
Well, he had to earn that once he got here, but I mean, there's a reason why he had tons of offers coming out of high school. There's a reason why he signed with Miami. There's a reason why then Missouri wanted him, and he ended up at Michigan. And you come on the tape, he's got a lot of talent. You watch him throw the football and do things. And, I think one of the more impressive things really kind of how our kids have responded to him. And I think it's just, again, because how he's handled himself. And so, I mean, he's got talent. He's a big guy and he's mobile and I think we got several guys there, but we kind of, when we recruited him and we knew some people that really knew him. Actually, I got a coach that was an old player on one of the teams he was on. So, when you start looking at all the things that you carry, for us, we really care about the character part and all these, what kind of teammate is he? And in recruiting, you always want to think you get what you think you're getting. And I think he's exactly kind of what we thought we're getting. He's not a finished product by any means, but he is a talented guy. He's willing. He's got all those attributes we're looking for, and he's been bought in. And you worry sometimes maybe a guy like that, there's a little bit of an entitlement. There was never any of that. So, like I said, I'm excited to watch him go play.
Talking to Clay Hendricks ahead of tomorrow night's season opener against Anderson. Coach, you return 10 starters off of last year's squad, and you look at, a guy who was big time for you, consensus All-American defensive end, Joshua Stone King. Would you say that defensive line and what's returning and a couple of new additions in Baldwin and Lipscomb, would you say that's maybe the strength of this football team heading into the season?
I think it certainly has a chance to be that. Probably the strength with just the returning guys. I think as we've added some guys at some other positions you feel really good about. But, obviously Josh and his production, adding an Eli Lipscomb who, was freshman of the year in the Division II league. I don't think he started playing the fourth game and he had 8 or 9 sacks. So having a guy opposite him, I told our offensive tackles the other day, they spent the entire month of August having to try to block those two guys. All the things that you do at practice. So I think this helped them too. So, no, I think that certainly has a chance to be a strength for us. We'll play, especially inside, probably play 3 deep guys. We feel like pretty good that we can play 3 deep there and feel good about it. And we got more depth. We're an older football team. And I think we're a lot better. I think we got a chance to be a lot better at corner. And when you're pretty good at corner, it helps you in lots of ways.
Coach, tell us about your running game this year. I'm looking up and down the roster, and it feels like you're just carbon copying that perfect prototypical running back size, 5'9", 5'10", 210 pounds. You got a bunch of those guys on your roster right now. Give us a sense of what the running game is going to look like this year.
Well, we've got to be better there. We hadn't been up to even close to our standards, I think, for about a year and a half. I think quarterback's mobility affects some of that. We got to be better up front. There's no question. But there's 11 guys playing on offense. His receivers blocking, his running backs. It's one thing when you make yards when people block everybody really well, but having guys that can win one-on-ones. And CJ Nail's a freshman, and probably I'm not sure he was quite ready for that last year, but he got thrown in there a ton, and he's back. And we've added a kid, CJ Stokes, another guy's from Columbia who was at Michigan as a freshman as well. Ben Crosdale's been in our program now. This is 5 years. Isaiah Davis. That may be the deepest spot on our team. You don't play as many of those guys, but I really like that group. Again, I think we got some home run hitters, which is always good to have. So that's an area we've spent an awful lot of time addressing, and hopefully it'll show up tomorrow night being better there.
Coach, my last question for you. You lose a guy in Ian Williams who was all Southern Conference, really staple of that special teams unit. When it comes to special teams, you turn to Nathan Chapman and maybe a couple others in 2026. Where do you feel like this special teams is, or this unit is now heading into the season?
Well, Ian was terrific for us. Ian had a huge leg. Nathan doesn't quite have that. But I tell you what, I don't know if we've had a player in this camp that's done his job better than him. I don't know I wanted to look at what his numbers were for 4 weeks of practice. I bet he was probably in the mid-80s percentage for makes at field goals. When we were doing them, he's got a strong leg, really accurate. Probably might have been maybe a little more accurate than Ian was. But obviously he was not a guy you didn't think twice about letting him kick a 58-yard field goal. But we did a little thing one day where we were dressing long kicks, and he drilled a 55-yarder. So he's certainly capable. He's going to be our kickoff guy too. Again, he's not going to get as many touchbacks probably as Ian had. That's for sure. But I feel great about where he is. And, our Holder returns. Holder's now a great getter who's actually going to be our punter. I think we'd be more consistent in the punting game than we were a year ago. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, Coach, 24 hours from now, you'll be running out of that inflatable football helmet there with the smoke all around you. Do you have any night before first kickoff traditions, any superstitions? Is there something you have your lovely wife cook for you before every season opener?
No, it's night before a game. We have our little team dinner, which I'm actually at right now, and we'll do our last little team meeting at 9:00. I'll go meet our players, and we'll do that, and then just try to get a good night's rest, and a little longer day tomorrow just because of the late kickoff.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we appreciate you. Go get them tomorrow. We'll be listening right here on the Fan Upstate. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys.
Clay Hendricks, Furman University, head football coach. I am calling for it now, and I hope this is the case. I don't think this game tomorrow is close. I know that Coach Hendricks and Coach Lamb are very good friends. Like you said, they grew up together, a lot of history there, but Furman wins tomorrow big time. I'm calling it. I think Jake Garcia gets in a rhythm. He mentioned that improved running game. Jake Garcia's played like everywhere. Literally, he was at Miami, Missouri, Michigan. I'm missing a few. He's got a lot, to Coach Hendricks' point, he's got a lot of experience, a lot of snap experience too.
Hey, hopefully that means a big year for Furman this year.
You'd
love to see him have, it's been a while since they've had some stability there at the quarterback position. And hopefully this year could be a big year for him. Now, I would love, you talked about Anderson and the way they're investing in their football stadium. Obviously bringing in Bobby Lamb to coach the team and help build that program. That's an exciting thing. Now, how fun would it be if one of these days Anderson University decides to make that jump up into the FCS? I think they'd be a natural team to take a place in the Southern Conference. Maybe you get that Greenville-Spartanburg-Anderson rivalry.
Maybe one day
with getting Wofford and Anderson involved as well.
By the way, tomorrow only the second Thursday night season opener for Furman in the history of their program. They did it a few years ago against North Greenville in 2022. 22, I believe, 21 or 22, and maybe 23. I can't remember. Anyways, Thursday night football tomorrow night. You can hear the game right here on the Fan Upstate. Dan Scott and the crew will be on the air at 5:30 for the countdown to kickoff, and they'll take you all the way through. So going to be a lot of fun. We are excited. It will be a short show tomorrow due to Furman football, but hey, we love it. Furman football's back. Football's back. Final segment of the show, Diesel, coming up, and it's the last chance for today.
Yep.
Today. Keyword today. To get your upset pick in, we'll make one more push for the Upset Picks Challenge. We've got a few newbies I see on the Joy Law Firm text line. That's next.
Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
This old man has called the show like 19 times today, and he just called back in again and he hung up. His name's Jimmy. I answered the phone a few minutes ago, and he said, did y'all call me? Or did you call me? No, we hadn't called you. It's a prank call, I think. That's the only thing I can think. He just keeps calling. And you know what, Diesel? I'm about to put him on the air. Next time he calls, I'm putting him on the air, and we're going to blast him on the air.
To be fair, he could have Alzheimer's.
He could,
know?
but
did you ever see the movie
God.
Waiting? He's like, the best part about Alzheimer's is you get to meet new people every day.
No, I didn't see that movie.
Maybe what?
Does that surprise you?
What? That is
Diesel,
an all-time
whenever
great
you
comedy.
say the words, did you see that movie? You just need to know what the answer is
Everyone
going to be.
has seen
No,
Waiting.
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds working
No.
in like the TGI
I
Fridays
don't
kind
watch
of restaurant.
movies. I don't watch them.
It's an all-time great.
No, I'll put it on my list though. Tolos, it's the final segment of the show. Your final opportunity for today to get your upset pick in. If you're listening right now and you've never participated in the Upset Picks Challenge, it's a lot of fun. And we kicked it off today. What you're doing is you're looking for a college football game this weekend. There are 8 games to choose from this Saturday where you think the underdog will outright win the game. So, for example, you go to ESPN.com, you click scores, and then you click FBS, not top 25, FBS. If you think North Carolina Diesel, Tolos, who's a 9.5-point dog, if you think North Carolina will outright win the game, you text in, real simple, or you can call in the name of your name, the game, and the spread. So, Bob, North Carolina plus 9.5 over TCU. That's it. Very simple. If it hits, if North Carolina wins, that amount of points, 9.5, that's locked in at 4 o'clock on Wednesdays, will be credited to you. It's like a bank account.
Yeah.
You just keep adding to it, adding to it. Last year, I think I finished around 30 Diesel. I didn't have a lot of money in my Upset Picks bank account, but better than the year before where I was horrible in this challenge. So the optimism right now for everybody is really, really high. And we really want to get some new players in on the challenge. If it's your first time, 844-326-3663 is the number to text in. Diesel has already got your upset. Did you get get yours? Okay.
I gave mine. My upset pick is Jacksonville State plus 7 over the Bison of North Dakota State.
So Diesel would text in Jacksonville State plus 7 over NDSU. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Exactly.
It's very simple. You know, I'm looking at a few games. I hadn't made a pick yet. I'm procrastinating. There are only 8 games to choose from, right? Yeah. But I see on the Joy Law Firm text line, Diesel, John Dog. Look at John Dog. He gets in. He's going with the Wolfpack over Virginia. John Dog, I think the spread was different earlier, but we'll credit you with whatever the point spread was locked in at. So he said 3, but I think it's 4.5, right?
4. Yeah, picks get locked in, or the spreads get locked in at 4 o'clock on Wednesdays. So whether you pick at 4 o'clock on Wednesdays, right out of the gate, or if you wait until the very end of the show on Friday, like 6:55, you'll still get the same number of points regardless.
That's right.
Doesn't matter if the spread moves on you.
We'll fix it for you. We will take care of that. NC State, Virginia, I think that's going to be a popular one over the next few days. Sure. I really do. Jake H.E. Jake, just make sure you continue to text in your name, the same name every week. That way we don't get confused because there are a lot of Jakes. Let's see. He goes Sac State plus 10.5. Sac State. That sounds dirty. Wait, I mean, what are we doing here? That is the Sacramento State, Eastern Michigan. I think Tom in Somerville picked that game earlier. I think so.
You might be right.
Adam H. is getting in. He says, let's see, Hawaii versus Stanford. Stanford -4. A couple other ones came in. Adam H. Oh, he fixed his. Adam H. fixed his, Diesel. He chose Campbell earlier, but he's going with Hawaii, Stanford now. Tiger Pal Rachel. Good to hear from you, Tiger Pal Rachel. She goes Jacksonville State over North Dakota State plus 7. Both teams first time in FBS. Look at Tiger Pal Rachel. She knows ball. She does.
Well, Tiger Pal Rachel also picked an FCS game first by accident. She had to go. It's okay. You know, everybody's still waking up from their slumber this time of year.
Hibernation.
It's okay. You get a little groggy, make mistakes. but we're here to help you out.
Lyman Robb gets in. He says upset picks, NC State +4 over Virginia. Lyman Robb, perfection on your submission there, Lyman Robb. Appreciate you listening to the show. MC Jack Attack. I like that name. That name. MC Jack Attack says Jacksonville State +7 over North Dakota State. We've got, I don't like this name. I don't even want to say this. Can you say it?
I know which one you're
talking about. Can you say
it?
I don't want to say it.
Goo Goo Gaga?
That's just, I don't like saying that. I don't like Goo Goo Gaga. I really, Tolo, really, that's your name. I mean, come on. That's a bad name.
Maybe he's related to Lady
Gaga?
Yeah.
NC State over Virginia +4 is where she, I don't know if Goo Goo Gaga is a he or she. But a lot coming in. 844-326-3663. Continue to get those upset picks in. Now, important announcement. Very, very important. Diesel tomorrow, even though the show is off early, is cut short, we're still going to accept picks until 7.
Correct. You will still be able to pick from 3 all the way until 7 o'clock. Now, obviously, we won't be on the air to remind you to get your picks in, but we will go back and check on the text line. And you know, the text line is like, it's saved. All these text messages are saved. We can go back and check them after the fact. We can go back and look at the window of 3 to 7 p.m. That's why we don't like to do text, or that's why we don't like to do picks on the stream, because we can't go back and look at those messages
no bueno.
In the same way. So
no bueno.
Remember, as always, to get your pick in with the same name every single time. So I'm just going to single you out here. For example, here, Adam H. Send it in as Adam H. every single week. Because if you text in next week as Adam Hammett, we're not going to know who Adam Hammett is. We're going to think it's a different player.
Yeah, you got to send it in same way. And by the way, if you don't know why we're going to be off early tomorrow, the show ends at 5:30. Furman football tomorrow night. They kick at 7 o'clock. So countdown the kickoff begins at 5:30. Dan Scott and the crew will join us at 5:30. They'll take it away at 5:30. So excited about that. Furman football hosting the Anderson Trojans tomorrow.
Is Pac-Fan Shuff messing with us? Pac-Fan Shuff says Holy Cross over Lehigh. You can't take that game, Pac-Fan Shuff. That's an FCS game. It's an FCS game. You don't get to pick that one.
What are we doing?
FBS games only.
Come on. Pathetic.
Tolos.
Pathetic. We'll see you tomorrow, Tolos.
More fired up than your group chat